Good morning, everyone. It's Lynne Huysamen here from Kaboki. I hope you are all keeping nice and warm today. So today the topic that we're going to talk about is starting a mom blog today. And I've got some awesome guests here. I've got Judy from Fun Mama SA. I've got Lauren from Inspiring Mompreneurs. And I've got Megan Kelly Botha. And we're going to just go around quickly so each lady can introduce themselves a little bit about what they do. I'm going to start with Megan because she's got to run very soon.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm
Megan,
sorry.
go.
I actually have a little boy next to me as well who's like a little bit sick. So this is just Murphy. You plan everything and then it just goes like completely wrong like last minute. But yes, I'm Megan Botha. I started out blogging about 8 years ago. At the time, I started as beauty blog, and then I kind of grew to Beauty and the Baby, and then I relaunched this by Megan Kelly. Over the years, I've gained through blogging an insight into digital marketing, which actually launched my career into digital marketing, and now I work for one of the leading digital agencies in South Africa. I'm a strategist for more than 60 brands, including global and local brands. And my passion really is helping small businesses. It's always been something that I love to do. And I'm very fortunate to be in the position where I do that now, at SOMS, which is great.
Awesome. Lovely. And I got to know Megan many years ago when I first started my online store. Kaboki was an online store when I first started. And Megan reviewed one of my products, which was the window skim. So that was really exciting and awesome. I was like, wow, I'm going to be on a blog. So now I'm the one that's doing the blogging. So that was really awesome. And then Lauren, tell us a little bit about yourself. Well, everyone else, I know a bit about you.
Okay, so I launched my first niche website 4 years ago, Happy Human Pacifier, on breastfeeding. And then because I was very, very pro breastfeeding and then landed up going full term with my son. And then shortly after that, I launched Inspiring Mompreneurs, which has actually become my biggest brand online, where I interview mom entrepreneurs. And also give a lot of there's loads of other posts on there just to do with all kinds of things. And then I also have another website that has never really quite taken off, and I still don't quite know what to do with it, which is in my name. But I keep sort of it's a very organic thing. I find blogging is very organic. You kind of move in one direction and then you move in another direction. So similar to your story. So really what I do mostly now is I do sponsored posts, and I'm moving into affiliate marketing more and more, and course creation, online course creation as well. So I've got my first 3 online courses up now. And I just reviewed the most amazing course, but we'll talk about that just now. That's enough.
Awesome. Lauren, that's fantastic. And you know what? I also launched my own website, lynnehuysamen.com, like you've done, laurenkinghorn.com. And I also don't quite know what to do with it. And because I've got so many websites, I haven't had time to do anything. But it is sitting there, and it's really not doing much. So I totally relate to that. Cool. And then we've got Judy from Fun Mama SA. I hope you are going to stay with us because you're popping in and out like a jack in the box.
I hope so. Yeah, sorry, my phone, and I'm trying to get the right lighting. So I'm a content creator and obviously mom and parent lifestyle blogger. And I do freelance writing on the side. So I have 2 websites. I also try run, because that's been on the background, a site for bloggers called Blog Boss, where we try and assist up-and-coming bloggers to be able to get the right information and, be able to get out there and blog correctly.
Awesome. And you've got a fantastic community there on Mom Boss. Is it Mom Boss?
Blog Boss.
Blog Boss. Yes, that's it. Awesome. Cool. So I think what one of the main questions that I get asked when people, they ask me what I do and I say I'm a blogger, and they just get this blank look and they say, well, what is a blog? What do you do? And I think, that's obviously the first thing that people want to know about starting to work online. And I think that there are so many scams online. When people say, oh, I work online, it's like, oh, the red lights start flashing. People have got a lot of people got very unrealistic expectations of what it means to work online. So yeah, I'm just gonna pick someone. I'm gonna pick you, Lauren. Maybe you can explain to everybody what exactly is a blog. I'm putting you on the spot here.
Okay, no. So a blog, blogs started out as being people just talking about their days and their lives. And, it was just talking about your life. So it was all written stuff and just talking about your life. And it's evolved over time because people started monetizing their blogs. And so now blogs are not really that anymore. You get lifestyle blogs, you get parenting blogs, you get anything you can imagine, nature. My breastfeeding one was when you get health and wellness is really big. Mental health is really big in the blogging world. So the self-help blogs are massive. So people have started realizing that if you blog in a certain direction, it's a lot easier to monetize your blog. So there's a lot of make money blogs out there, and that is a huge niche. And also finance, or what is it called? Like personal finance. Personal finance is also a massive niche. So people realize that it's not just about blog about yourself and just chat about yourself. You actually can pick a lane and stay in that lane and build an audience based on what you're blogging about. And also blogging is not just writing anymore. So people have started becoming YouTubers or podcasters, and that all gets added into a blog. So it started out as one thing and it's morphed into lots of things. And it really is depending on what your personality is like and what you enjoy doing. So some person might have a blog and it's filled with loads of videos and podcasts, and another person just likes to write, and it's lots of writing and lots of ebooks you can download. Everybody's different, and it's become a huge field.
Yeah, I think, Lauren, what you've kind of done now is you've touched on the start of how to start a blog. And that is, the first place you're going to start is, what is your niche going to be? And I think ultimately, there's a different schools of thought on this. A lot of people say you must choose like a very narrow niche. So all you blog about is like a certain specific thing. Or you can take it like much broader, like my blog, Kaboki. The main theme is parenting and family, but I've written about mental health. I've written about home, garden, weight loss, health, you name it, which I prefer doing it that way because, if I get kind of stuck in something so small, then I'm not quite sure what to write about and I get a bit bored with it. So I'm going to cross over now to Megan. She's going to explain to us, how to start a blog.
Yeah, so there's numerous ways that you can do this. I see Vicky's question there where she says, does it have to be long form? Does it have to be a certain way? There's been an increase now in Insta blogs where people are launching blogs on Instagram, where they'll post a picture and have a sort of long form content, which is long form on Instagram. But if you were to have a blog, it might be considered shorter. So there's different ways to do it. And I think, like Vicky said, it can be very overwhelming in the sense that, people think that you have to have, sorry, I have two dogs who want to be in the shot now. It's going very south. But a lot of people think that you have to have it a certain way. You have to have your own domain, you have to have your own blog, you have to know how to do web development. And while those are all definitely benefits of, getting started, it's not necessary. For instance, when I first started blogging, I really focused on Pinterest. So I looked at Pinterest for tips on how to start a blog. And although I'm married to a web developer, he didn't build my first blog. He refused to have anything to do with it. So I actually learned to build my first blog on Blogger. And now I'll only touch WordPress. And I'm always like, oh my gosh, can you imagine starting a blog on Blogger now? But the thing is it's actually so easy to start. It's free. It's through Google. You don't have to have your own domain. And then as you become more and more familiar with it, you can definitely go ahead and, branch out to something like WordPress. WordPress is, to me, the most user-friendly, but that's because I've been working on it for the last, 8 years. So you can start by branching out and, really figuring out where you want to focus. Like you said, you can focus on one title or one theme. I didn't really stick to that rule. A lot of people like to force that narrative that you have to have a theme and that. I'm also an SEO expert, and for me, it does make more sense to be more like orientated with your theme. But it's not actually like, when it comes to blogging, it's all about you and your personal story. So for me, my blog was by Megan Kelly. I initially started as beauty, but then I had 2 kids and there was no time for beauty. There was no time to shave my legs, let alone review a lip gloss. So for me, I definitely then started branching out to doing like parenting stuff and, travel tips. And I spoke about my depression and I spoke about my faith journey. And then I launched Cup of Faith, which is just for Christian women. So there's definitely an opportunity to share your story. It doesn't have to be a themed story. It doesn't have to be, filtered. It can be absolutely everything. But in terms of starting a blog, you can start, and I'm just looking at Vicky's question here, how do you link your blog to your social media? There's often with your social medias, you have a bio section where you can link to your blog. That's how you would link your blog. But in terms of doing like an Insta blog, you could just, start with an Instagram account, post a picture and do your long form content there. And if you research the right hashtags and that, you will be discovered, by like-minded people. It's also very important to engage with like-minded people. So if you are launching a blog and you're really new and you don't know how to get that traffic, it's important to look for like Facebook groups, Instagram communities that are all within that same niche, so that you can obviously grow that interest and you can say, hey, I shared this post. And that's really how I started out. Is I would like engage in blogging groups where people were giving advice on blogging. And being in the industry, I would often give a lot of tips in that. And then I would always just sign off with the link to my blog. And that's how people, really got a feeling of who I am and what I do. And over time, I managed to even build a business, through digital marketing, where I was offering, web design, SEO, that sort of thing. And now I've managed to branch out to actually being, a specialist. So it's definitely got its opportunities, and there's no set way of doing it. But honestly, I feel like if you go Google something, it's very overwhelming because you're like, oh, this looks way too prim and proper. They're talking about business blogs and I don't want to do a business blog. I want to do a mommy blog. Then I would say definitely go to Pinterest. Pinterest has so many resources on getting started. And then definitely go for, if you're feeling overwhelmed by the process and you don't have experience, go for something simple like, WordPress or Blogger. Blogger would be probably simpler, but it's very dated in the look and feel. Whereas WordPress, you have more customization options. And as you learn a little bit more about web development and just kind of setting the tone of your own blog, then you can definitely, customize it to suit you. So yeah, that's where I'd basically start on what are you doing and then how are you going to get your message out there.
Awesome. Thank you, Megan. Just to touch on a couple of points. The first thing is, I love what you say. And the thing is, you can read as many, articles about blogging as you like. The fact is, it is about you. And until you start blogging and until you start fiddling around with all the different platforms, with Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, live videos, you don't actually know what's going to kind of be your fit and where you're going to really start connecting with your audience. And you also don't know what you're going to want to really write about until you get stuck into it. So absolutely. I've started a number of blogs. Some of them are just kind of like left in the lurch. I've still got them, but they're just sitting there because it's something I started that didn't quite fit with me. So absolutely. I think the main thing is you've got to get in there.
Yes, absolutely.
And start learning through doing. And what I really love is that I found a website called Wealthy Affiliate. And they focus mostly on affiliate marketing, and they focus on, it's got to be a narrow niche. But luckily for me, I'd already started blogging a little bit on my online store. And when I found them, I had enough insight to take what they offered and to implement it in my way, which it made me absolutely fly because they've got step-by-step training, videos, they offer hosting for your website, domains, a keyword tool. They give you basically everything you need, and they give you a video and they say, right, do this, watch this video, implement it on your website, and then do these steps and then watch the next video. So you're actually building your website as you go along. And yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. They've got brilliant support. I'll add a link later on my blog and on this video for everyone. Like I say, the only thing that I didn't particularly, well, it's not that I didn't like it, but that they focus mainly on affiliate marketing and a very narrow niche, which doesn't suit me. But like I say, the training and everything is absolutely brilliant, but you just implement it in your own way, as long as you can, understand it and follow it that way. So yeah, I think the main thing is just to, choose a niche, get your website up, whichever way you want to, and then get cracking with it. And just because you've started it and it doesn't fly, doesn't mean blogging doesn't work. It just means that you've started in a direction that perhaps doesn't quite fit you.
Well,
and I think
at the position where I've been doing this for 8 years, and I've really shared quite a bit. And to touch on the thing Vicky asked, if you talk more about personal things, do people see you differently professionally? Now, a lot of my opportunities in life have really come from my blog, and I think that's because I've been very vulnerable on my blog. I've spoken about things like struggling with my weight. I've spoken about my really dark depression. I've spoken about debt and getting into it and getting out of it. And I've spoken about all those things, but I'm sitting at the point of my blogging career where I literally, I'm considering this right now, where I have a thing of, I don't really blog anymore by Megan Kelly. If I do, it's usually an article about the beauty of marketing, which is really looking at a strategy that a beauty brand is taking. And so I feel like I'm leaning more towards, talking about beauty as I did about parenting, because my kids are both old now. That they're much older. They're not reviewing, beauty. They're not reviewing toys. They're not reviewing dummies or bottles or that sort of thing. And I don't really want to share my kids' intimate side anymore either. I'm not in that place that I want to do that. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, well, that blog doesn't work for me anymore. Now it's a matter of, do I go ahead and launch a new blog? Do I continue where I was and, keep up with the momentum I had started, so there's all these questions. But for me, it really is that you constantly adapting, and your blog is your space. A lot of people feel that there's all these rules that you have to, do it this way because that's what the internet says. But there isn't rules. If you want to blog about frogs, go ahead and blog about frogs. You don't have to have, any rhyme or reason to it. And I've had to have this argument with myself. Listen, I want to blog today about something that's completely unrelated, and every fiber in my being is but this is the rule of blogging, And for instance, how often do you suggest a blog should be written and posted? Some people go, oh, you should only blog, once or twice a week because, that's all people can consume. People don't have enough time. Man, I was blogging 4 or 5 times a day in the beginning. I had time. I was pregnant on a farm. If I could do it, I would do it, But now life has gotten busy, and I only really blog once a month. And then I have my second blog, Cup of Faith. That is very niche focused. This is what we are. This is what we stand for. We're not really, going off the line. And I feel like that one, I'm more focused on a niche. But by Megan Kelly, I go 3-4 months without blogging. Sometimes I go, 2 days. When I was talking about keto, I was posting 4 or 5 times a day. So there's no rule. And I think that's something we've really got to stress. It's you don't have to do it a specific way. You don't have to do it the way I did it. You don't have to do it the way Lynne did it. You can do it in your own way. And it doesn't have to cost you a fortune. When I started, I was earning 600 Rand a week working for an American company. And that would literally go to nappies and groceries, And it cost me nothing. And at the time, because I wanted to review beauty products, I was entering competitions, would win those competitions, and then review those products. And then I would work with brands through that, because they would go, oh, we saw you reviewed our product. We'd like to send you more. So there's definitely opportunity to do it most cost effective. There's a way to do it that it fits you and it adapts with you and the stage of life you're in. And there's no rule of how to run your blog.
Wow, that is some of the best advice I've heard, because when I first started blogging and I was trying to figure out how do you do it, I read this, that it has to be like this and this and this. It has to be so many words per post. You've got to do this. And it was so restricted.
Yes.
And now this is going to bring us into the next topic. So I'm just going to put that little banner up over there. And just you ladies can see that little ticker going at the bottom. It says if you join in, I'm going to announce a winner at the end for a 100 Rand Take-A-Lot voucher. So stick around, and I'm going to answer a lot of questions a bit later on. But this next section is why you want to start a mom blog today. And I mean, ultimately, Megan, you've hit the nail on the head. And this is why you mustn't stick to all the so-called rules. Is that I wake up in the morning, I think, what do I feel like writing about today? What feels good for me? And my life keeps changing. And I can fit that into what I'm doing on my blog. And for me, as a recovering alcoholic and addict, and as someone that's also suffered with so much mental health issues, being bipolar, being a sex and love addict, being in rehab, my life was basically falling apart. I shouldn't be alive today. It's really important for me to be able to express myself and to be myself and be really honest. That is the whole thing of the recovery program from addiction, is that you've got to be true to yourself and you've got to be true to everybody else in the outside world. And blogging for me is a way for me to be just completely me, whoever I am, whoever I've grown to be. And like you say, that changes all the time. And there's loads of reasons why you want to start a mom blog today. And, I think specifically, I've been wanting to do this topic for ages, but now with the pandemic, I specifically wanted to address this because my kids are at school one day, they're at home the next day, homeschooling. Everything is all over the place. But I'm sitting here in my bed. I am actually in bed because it's so cold. I'm sitting here in my bed.
It's a good soul.
And I'm learning while my kids are at home. And I can write about the crap that I'm going through and the struggles with, with being at home, working with my kids, and I can make money doing it. I'm like, it's so amazing. So, Judy, I haven't heard much from you. You can maybe tell us why you feel now is the ultimate time to start a mom blog.
As my child screams, "Mom!"
That's okay. Tell him to come in. He can have
There's so many reasons, especially now. And I think the first one is that we're pretty isolated with the pandemic. And with a mom blog, you're going to be able to get out there. You're going to be able to express yourself, find people who can say the same things as you. It is a great way for moms to make an income. It really is. But having said that, I also think that a lot of moms are under the impression that, okay, well, I've got a mom blog. We've been here 2 days. Where's my income? So, having said that, there is also a lot of work behind it. Yes. I love what Megan said about not having to choose a niche and about finding your blog space to fit you, because there's always another mom that thinks like you. So how I write my blog may not be the same as everybody else, but there's definitely moms who are tuning in for that specific content. As I said, I think personally, the mom blogs are a great way to express yourself. It's a lovely way to connect. The mom community, especially online, if you're Insta mommy, can really be very supportive. And yes, we all need an income, whether that's a full-time income or whether it's a part-time income.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what Judy said here is that you're not going, there's a lot of scams that come around that say, oh, within 48 hours, you're going to make $1,000 online. If it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true. Forget about all that rubbish. If you look at it and you think, wow, I've hit the lotto here, you haven't. Buy your lotto ticket, you got a better chance. But yes, it takes time, it takes effort to start earning money online. But once you are in the place where you are earning money online, it can be really fantastic. So, like I say, it's not going to happen today. It is going to take some effort and some work. And then I'm going to just... Oh, he's so cute. It's cute when it's not your kid,
You like him. I can rock and roll. Okay, I'm going to excuse myself for 2 seconds. I'm just going to go and put How to Train Your Dragon on for the 44th time this morning. I'll see you guys now.
He's so gorgeous. The next thing I wanted to talk about, and this is kind of what all the moms want to know, is how do you go from writing an article on your website to making money from that? And, this is something that a lot of people struggle to get their head around. This is something that when I first started blogging, I thought, how is this actually going to help my business? How am I going to make an income from writing and creating content? Lauren.
Let's do it. Let's play.
Okay. So there's many different ways to make money blogging. I'm gonna talk about the one I don't use first, which is advertising. That's how most people feel they're gonna make money blogging. I don't personally believe in having ads on my site. Although not to say that I don't do sponsored posts, but I think like those ads that flash up and are all through your text, everywhere. I'm not mad about ads. I find them very distracting. I get irritated when I'm trying to read an article and ads are all over the show. And also, it's kind of an addition to make money, because you need to have built quite a big audience before you can make any money from advertising on your site. You make tiny amounts of money. So to me, the better way to monetize your blog is through sponsored posts, where people actually pay you to write posts that include a link to their company or reviewing certain things. And then reviews work very well in terms of affiliate marketing as well. So a company will pay you to be an affiliate marketer. And that is one of the more lucrative ways to make money out of a blog. And then if you really want to make some serious money, I mean, affiliate marketing is one of those ways, but also course creation, online course creation is a great way. Building a membership site is another way. So if you're blogging about something that is quite intimate or something that you don't want everybody to know about, you can create a membership site, and people have to actually join your site before they can actually get access to that information. That's another great way. Have I left anything out, Lynne? That would be good. Podcasting, YouTubing, all good ways to make money blogging.
I've been a bit distracted because I've been muting Judy, and sorry, Judy. When you want to talk, just unmute yourself. And reading comments and stuff. So I've gotten a bit distracted. Did you mention influencer marketing?
Oh, influencer, that's your game. You can talk about
so that's the one that I was going to bring up, and that's kind of where I make my most money. I do influence, I do affiliate marketing, I do sponsored posts, I do ads on my website. It's an extra $1,000 a month. I like that. It gives me a little bit of coffee money and stuff. So yeah, I do that. And then influencer marketing is where you've got, it doesn't have to be a huge following, but you've got a following on social media and on your blog, and people pay you to kind of be seen with your product. So, you buy coffee or whatever, and you take a photo of that, you put on Instagram, and people pay you to be seen with their coffee, like a mug of coffee, or at their restaurant, or at their accommodation. Not all the influencer marketing I do is paid. But, when you get offered a free holiday and they say, can you do a couple of Instagram posts? I say, yes, I can do that, most certainly. They gave us a lot of wine. My husband had to drink it all. He got quite trashed. But I can't drink because I'm a recovering alcoholic. So he had to test all the wine and stuff. So, yeah, influencer marketing for me is really cool. I get paid. I think what I really love about it is that once you've got a decent social media following, you can get paid insane amounts of money for like not that much work, sometimes I get paid $150 for one Facebook photo or one Instagram photo, which is really cool. The most I got paid for one blog post was absolutely insane. I got paid 10,000 Rand to write a blog post and publish it and share it on my social networks. And it wasn't a hectic job. I think the job took me from start to finish about 2.5 hours from the time I started it until the time I was finished and sent my invoice. In fact, I thought they made a mistake on the email. I thought they said 1,000, but put an extra naught in. But I invoiced them for 10K and they paid me. So, you can get sometimes a ridiculous amount of money for not so much work. And you do have to build yourself up to that. And yeah, I really enjoy that. It can also be very stressful though, because a lot of the companies have got, you sign this contract, and if you're 1 minute late, you get 20% deducted off. And if this happens, you've got to reach certain statistics. And, I get a bit anxious when you do a job like that, but it's really exciting. Hi, Bobby. Yeah, I've just seen your 500 messages. I am going to, thank you for all of that. So I'm going to answer some questions later, Jenna, on how to become an influencer. I've actually done, where did I write?
So I'm going to just say bye now while there's a little pause. And I'll catch up with you guys a little bit later, all right?
Oh, are you off? Okay.
Yes.
Bye, Megan. Thank you so much.
Guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
Yeah. Perfect. I'm just going to block this guy. He's spamming my block user. Sorry, Bobby. You're going to have to just go. He's just commented like 500 times, shouting out from the Philippines. I'm like, no. So we were talking about how to make money blogging. Yeah, loads of ways. And I think what you said there, Lauren, about creating courses, just to kind of make that a little bit more broad, I'm going to say digital products.
Yeah.
Because it's not just courses. Courses is fantastic. It's an amazing way to make money online. But if you're a mom at home and you are like good at graphic design, you can create things like, little printables. How to print, people can print out their own birthday invites to send out, their own shopping lists, planning and organization. It's absolutely huge. So you could write ebooks, even fiction, whatever. It doesn't have to be courses, but courses are huge and fantastic.
And there was another big one that I left off my list as well, which is e-commerce. So selling selling products online. You could do Amazon FBA. You can do, there's just so many different ways. Obviously,
yeah, totally. And also, if you have your own online store already, you can utilize your blog to push your own products. So you can write articles that will create more traffic to your blog to make more sales, and you can link your blogs to your products. So you could write a certain, topic. For example, we are on, if we're talking about parenting, you can write an article on, how to help your child not be scared of the dark. And then you can link to a nightlight, for example, or, what are those little stars they put up on the roof, those little glow-in-the-dark stars, that sort of thing. If you're selling those products, you can create blog posts that really push the stuff that you're doing. So, it's very beneficial to blog, even if you've got your own business and you're not using your blog specifically to make money. And if you have your own online store or your own business of any type, you can start a blog to push your business, but you can also utilize your blog to make money in other ways. So you can make money from other affiliate products that you don't stock. So, and then I'm going to go on to the next topic, which is blogging with integrity. And I'm going to unmute you, Judy. There we are. Hi, welcome back.
Hi, thank you.
This is your topic.
Okay, so one of the things that I personally feel very strongly about is blogging with integrity. There's a few examples. So obviously, trying to state your niche, if you are specific, you're not going to invite something into your blog that isn't falling within your values or your morals. And also to be careful of how we speak. We've got to be so mindful of what we put out there. So one of the things is that we all have a voice. If you have a blog, you have a voice. And your personality, your values, and all of that are going to come through from that voice. And so we have to be really, really mindful how we put our voices across, the image that we're portraying. So not to be unauthentic, but for example, I personally come from an alcoholic home. So I run a parenting blog. I don't endorse anything with alcohol on my blog because it goes against everything I believe. And so they could offer me like a really, really awesome bottle of gin, and I would still say no, just because it isn't what I believe is the right thing to put on to my blog. And I think it can get really easy, especially as you start making money, to lose your voice. I think you can, we all need the cash. We all need that bank account, especially now. And I think it can be really easy to get caught up in that, where we actually lose part of our values, almost like selling ourselves for a product. And so when you get into it and you start doing the affiliate marketing and the influencer, especially the influencer marketing, when you start doing influencer marketing, the most important question to ask yourself is, am I authentically portraying myself with integrity?
Judy, when I invited Judy to come and chat with us today, she said to me, I want to talk about blogging with integrity. And I said, yes, I want to hear this. So like, for example, you've just mentioned an alcoholic father. Was it your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was both of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so you won't blog about alcohol. Me, on the other hand, I am the alcoholic, and my husband really drinks. But we were invited to a wine farm, and I said to them straight up, I said, I can't talk about me drinking wine, and I can't drink your wine. I said, my husband
Yep.
will have to drink your wine, and I will speak about what he says about your wine. So that for me felt right and fine. So that's perfect. But there are so many
Yes.
instances that are, I mean, it's downright scary. And let's take Kim Kardashian with the appetite suppressant lollipop.
Yes. Well,
You know,
also,
she's got enough money. You know,
but not
because
only
someone
that. Yeah.
no,
Well, my thing would be, she has our most influential youngsters following her. She has every teenage girl looking up to her, going, "I want to be you." And
yes.
all you're saying is, "You're fat, you look awful, take this." So you've got a young girl who's still, her self-image is going to be based on what she sees and what she does. So, for example, I do a lot of crafts with Hamish online, and if there's a product we use that we've been asked to review and it really isn't up to the standard we would expect, I'm not going to call the brand out online, because I wouldn't want someone to call me out online. So pick up the phone, old school manners, pick that up and say, "Hey, listen, I have a bit of an issue with this. Could we maybe discuss it? I don't think I can portray it properly. Is there any way?" So, so there's a lot of small things, small etiquettes that we can bring in, just to be true to ourselves. Also, to show kindness. It doesn't help we're all speaking kindness and we're like, "Good morning, everybody. I'm so happy. #Mom Life. Let's be vibrant." And then behind the scenes, you're actually not that person, or you've just shouted at the mailman.
Yeah.
So I think to walk our talk is really, really, really important.
No, totally. And I think, Judy, you'll be horrified when I share this with you. I think I've told Lauren before, but I get very upset about I haven't got an eating disorder myself, but I've been working with a lot of people that got eating disorders, as a sponsor for the last 12 years. And, eating disorders are hectic. So that Kim Kardashian thing, it upset me because you're right. It's saying to young girls, "You're not good enough. You're too fat. Take an appetite suppressant." How many young girls these days have an eating disorder or are walking down that path because of the influence of these big celebrities and these huge influencers? I mean, it really upsets me. And then there was an instance where I was emailed by somebody with a Gmail address, and he said, no, he wanted me to promote. It's a one pill wonder that cures addiction. I was so upset, and I just said, no, I'm not prepared to do that. And I can't remember what he had offered me, but it started off something like a small amount of money. He ended up with $5,000. Because I'm an addict and I blog about addiction and people respect me, he went up to $5,000 for me to promote a one-hit wonder pill that cures addiction. I tell you, I lost my cool in a big way, but I was also hungry, So I was so angry because I'm like, why can't somebody like a rehab offer me $5,000 to talk about their rehab and say, like, this is the best rehab? I can do that. But, I couldn't do that. So, it is really a serious thing. If you're going to be faced with a 5,000 Rand, a $5,000 opportunity to go against your ethics, are you going to take it or are you not going to take it? Some people will. And, for me, I look at the long-term impact of my business. Is $5,000 worth trashing my name online very publicly? It's not worth it. Not at all. So yes, blogging with integrity is so important. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to get up. Let's just not give her a big fright because you don't know what someone's doing. Let's go to private chat. And Madeleine, I don't know if you can hear me. Oh, you're not there on video. I'm going to choose someone else. Bronwyn, can you hear me? Are you ready to come online? Just give me a thumbs up. I can't hear you, Brahman. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Okay, Brahman, I'm going to put you on screen. Hi, everyone. This is Bronwyn. She's come to join us.
Hi.
Have you got a baby?
Yes, I have a little bambino.
Aw.
Hello. Can you see me? Oh,
You want to say hello? Hi.
Hi.
There we go.
oh, I think we're going to have like a total thing going there.
Make it
So, Bronwyn, is there anything that you would like to ask either Judy, Lauren, or myself?
I think, like, because it's so interesting, just like the whole, like, just the process of starting and actually getting into it. So, like, for me, I was really interested in, like, when Judy said when you blog with integrity. So when somebody comes at you and basically, so you've got your blog down, you've been doing it, and you get these opportunities, how do you know when to draw the line? Like, because especially in times like this where things are so tough, where is it where you go, okay, now this is going to compromise who I am versus this could help me?
Yeah, I would say your conscience, because we all have that internal where we know this is just not for me. You know, I need to step back from this. And yes, we all need the cash. So I'm sure, like, you know, it's a thin line, because sometimes you're like, okay, well, that's not so bad. But then there's that one that just hits your gut and you're like, there's no way I'm doing that. You know, so I would say it's definitely your conscience.
When you get the no feedback.
Yeah, why don't you know, if that situation ever hits you, say to yourself, if my mother knew what I was about to do, what would she say?
No, you're not.
No, because that's a
Probably
pretty
not.
like, mother knows you better than probably anybody else in the world.
But you see,
know, and I'm going to assume your mom's got some ethics. I mean, I don't know your mom, but I'm going to go with that assumption. You know, that's what I do. I say to myself, what would my mother think of this? Especially when it comes to the addiction stuff. It's like, you know, very pedantic about that. But I think it is. It's about your conscience. You know, if you're thinking about accepting something, if you've got that need, you'll feel that warning sign. And I've rejected a lot of jobs. And what I've done on my rate card is I've actually got a section at the bottom that says blogging with integrity, and it says, you know, for whatever reason, I may decline to work with you, and you know, I just expect that people are going to respect that. I've had some people that were not very nice. You know, that's not about me, it's about them. It's their problem. It's not mine. And it is hard. It's hard when you get offered like a ludicrous amount of money and you've got to turn around and say, there's no ways. It doesn't matter if you give me $1 million, I'm not doing it. You know, and the thing is, what I think is really important here as well is that when I was looking at that $5,000, I'm like, honestly, I need that money. I need that money. But look at it long term. What is going to happen if somebody dies because I'm a promoter of people that's going through addiction? What is that going to do to my soul? What is that going to do to my family? And what is it going to do to my reputation? Is that worth $5,000? Not a chance in hell. No ways. You know, your reputation and what you stand for is so huge.
I think also we work so really, really hard to build that reputation from the very first time that blog is put out, from your first post right up to, you know, like even coming here to sit here and chat. We build so hard to work that to build it. We work so hard, sorry, to build that reputation so that brands see us, so that businesses know who we are. So it's important for us to put out who we are, but also something I just wanted to say quickly is someone once said to me, what do I put on my blog? How do I know too much is, you know, what's too much? And I always say to them, I'm prepared to sit next to the person on a bus and tell them that story, then it's okay. I'm really careful with my older kids, for example. I don't share their stories because that's not my story to tell. I try not to piggyback off other people's issues online because I also feel that's not my story to tell. So, you know, But a lot of people don't. A lot of people will find a news story and run with it because it sensationalizes and it brings up the numbers. So it also depends on you as a person and how you're prepared to portray yourself as well as the blog that you create.
And everyone has their own boundaries. So for you, it might not be a problem. If you don't come from an alcoholic background, it might not mean anything to you. To put a blog up on alcohol. That for another person who's been affected by that, and it's a really big part of their life, then that is one of their boundaries. So it's not to say that what is one person's rule has to be another person's rule. Everybody has their own thing. And in fact, part of blogging is polarizing, is getting to that point where you actually stand for what you believe in, not what your mentor believes in, or your friend who's also blogging. You have to take a stand for your beliefs. I mean, Lynne and I had a little banter online recently about one of the posts I put up, where she had, I had one opinion, the government saying we're not allowed smoking, and she has a completely different opinion about that. I think it's fantastic. I think it's like this they can't buy cigarettes. And for Lynne, she said no, it affects their mental health. So she had a very different perspective on it, and she could take a stand for what she believes in, that she thinks, cigarettes should be allowed. And I was like, no, I think it's yay, this is great. I stand for the government on this. And right now, there's a lot of people who are upset right now. There's going to be a whole lot of blogs because prohibition is back, in terms of not being able to drink wine. And I think or any alcohol right now in our country. And I think that is fantastic because my domestic worker came in and told me what happened on the weekend that prohibition was lifted. And every weekend since then, or every day since then, she says it's been absolutely crazy. Like, people are killing each other, they're hurting each other, they're hurting animals, domestic violence increases. And I'm actually starting to think that I'm pro-prohibition forever. Really, if this country were decided that prohibition was the way to go, I think it would actually revolutionize our country, because violence and domestic violence is such a big problem. So yeah, that was interesting. So I've learned a lot in lockdown.
I'm not going to get sucked into the cigarette thing. I'll just say I totally agree with you with the alcohol.
Okay.
Alcohol is so dangerous. I mean, it's to me, it's worse than like the hard drugs. Anyway,
and
it's terrible.
Seen as the gateway as well to other things.
Yeah.
I have another question. Just in terms of getting started and actually knowing, so if you've got your niche down and you know what you want to do and where you want to go, and like getting your content together, because obviously content is key. How do you know that, like, in terms of your content, that like if you've got good content and you think it's good, how do you know when it's good? Or do you just go with what you feel is okay to share? Because like, Judy, I don't know if Lauren just said if it's too much or if it's too little, or like, how do you go about sharing?
Look, I think this is very much about personal stuff. Like Judy spoke about what she's willing to share, about what she's not, and each of us has that. And I think when it comes to content, my biggest mistake when I first started blogging, I was not blogging as a blogger. I was blogging as someone that had an online store trying to draw customers to my blog. And my first blog, I'm thinking, oh God, what do these people want to hear? What am I going to say? How am I going to say it that they like me and that they visit my blog? Don't do that. What do you need to say? What is your message? And, you might think that people are going to think I'm a bit wacko, or they're not going to like me, or whatever. And the fact is, no matter what, if you're going to go put yourself online, someone's going to look at you and think, you see, this woman's a twat. Okay? Fact. That's going to happen. And some people are going to like you. Some people are not going to like you. Mm-hmm. And you need to make sure that you are authentic and you share the message you need to share. And the people that like you for what you are really representing, rather than what you are trying to represent to try and get people to like you, to try and make money. In fact, in the beginning of blogging, I would say take the money out of the picture completely. Forget about money. Go out there and share what you need to share and connect with people on the right level. And once you are connecting with people on the right level, once they're hearing your message, and also what's going to happen is, look, your first blog is going to be crap. Your first blog post is going to be absolute crap, probably. No, but in fact, you've never written a blog post. You don't know how many headings to put in. You don't know how long to make your paragraph. You don't know how to phrase things. You're uncertain. You might make a short blog post when it should have been whatever, just accept the fact that you're going to start out not being a great blogger, and you're going to, you just got to get started, and you got to listen to yourself. You got to look at what you're doing. If you connect with somebody, it's beautiful when someone starts connecting with you on in an authentic way. You might write a post and someone comes and asks a question, and that gives you a whole idea for your next blog post. So I know that a lot of people, they create a content calendar for the whole year, like I did this year, which didn't work because of the pandemic. But all these bloggers say you've got to have a content calendar and you've got to plan everything for the whole year. I've never done that. I wake up in the morning and I think, whoa, what's happening today? What's trending? What are people talking about? What's happening in my life? How am I feeling? And then I write a blog post, and it comes as it's much more authentic because it connects with people. It connects with where I am and where you are. Why are you here today? Why am I blogging about this today? Why have I got Judy here? It's all about just kind of running with whatever's going on at the moment. So start your blog, write your first one, throw it out there. It's probably going to be throwing it into a void, because that's what happens to your first blog post. No one knows it's there. But you just keep going, and slowly but surely people will start connecting with you, and you will feel if you're on the right path, and you will feel within yourself that you are writing about the right things. Shall I unmute you here? Oh.
Okay. Bronwyn, you're also welcome to connect with me afterwards if you are wanting to start a blog, and I'll happily help you out with any questions that you might have, or help you to promote that first blog post.
Yeah, that's what you need to do as well. When you put your first blog post out there, contact other people. I know what it feels like. I mean, I've got a page of 60,000 now, and I've got people connecting and engaging. But, when I first did my page, and when I first put my first blog post, I had to Mom, please come to my Facebook page and leave a comment on this post, because I feel so stupid. I asked the question and it's gone into this void, and that's so bad. So contact your friends, inbox Judy, inbox me on Facebook, and say please leave a comment on my blog post because I feel so dumb. Ask for feedback and say, I put this out there. What is your advice? What do you, just ask. And that's what you have to do in the beginning. You got to stick together.
I think that's also another thing is our readers, for example, will page through our page and they're like, well, can I ask her this question? Yes, please ask us. We'd love to answer. We're actually really passionate about blogging. Well, I am. I'm incredibly passionate about blogging. And I'm so eager to assist anyone who gets into my inbox. I'm like, okay, I can talk about blogging. My husband hates blogging. Okay, so anyone I can feed my info onto, I'm good.
Yeah, when I'm doing WhatsApp voice notes with Lauren and Judy, and then I press play and I'm listening to something on set, I just hear my husband yeah. There they go again. No, I'm incredibly passionate. You're welcome to inbox me, send me an email if you want to get started. Also, if you sign up on the platform I spoke about, which I'll give a link in the email, I'll maybe send it out via email and put it in the blog post, etc. That's Wealthy Affiliate. It is a monthly fee of $49 a month, but you get all the tools, you get everything you need, the community, and if you are signed up there, you get me. So yeah. I don't know if you want me or not, but I'm there and you got me.
And then my last question. So in terms of just like, because obviously you need to know what it is that you're going to be writing and whatever. It's obviously going to vary from day to day and from how often you do it. But does it matter how many times you blog or how many times you start out, or is there, because I feel like there's no set rules or boundaries. So if something happens or something that I want to share and put out there, or just get advice on, or just want to get feedback and hear from everybody else, how should I go about doing that? Is there a restriction in how much content you put out at a specific time?
Well, there are different schools of thought on this. There are some people that say your blog posts must all be long. They must all be 1,800 words minimum. It must be key. You must write it according to a keyword, because if you don't do that, you won't get any traffic because people aren't searching for that topic. There's some people say you must write at least 3 times a week. You must schedule it so it's like a Monday 9 o'clock, a Wednesday 9 o'clock, a Friday 9 o'clock. So there's lots of people that say you have to do it like this. And yes, there are certain guidelines, that you should maybe stick to. But what I love about blogging is that there doesn't have to be any rules. And what I love about it is that I'm a mom, so, and everybody thinks I'm on my Facebook page day and night. Everybody thinks I go there at 1 o'clock every morning and put their midnight mommy club. Are you awake? Hell no, I'm sleeping. That stuff is scheduled. So I take my old content, I schedule it onto Facebook, I schedule the questions, and if I have to go into hospital for a week, it happened to me. I had a miscarriage 2 years ago, and I had to go into hospital for a week. I was a mess. Nobody knew because my posts are still going out on Facebook. And that's the beauty of blogging, is that it gives you even when you are not blogging actively. I mean, if you don't actively blog for like a month or 2 or 3, sure, I think activity is going to go down. But the beautiful thing about blogging, hey, look, there's Lauren. Let's put her back in there. Hi, she's back. So the beautiful thing about blogging is that you're a mother. I mean, my kids are at home. They've been at home for months. I haven't been able to keep up the same sort of activity, but I'm still earning a bit. And I'm still able to keep up my business. I mean, if I had a full-time job and I had these children at home, I would have been fired already. Well, I would have quit. So it's a nice thing to do. Yeah, let's give it to Judy.
Sorry.
I'm talking enough.
No, I was just going to say, the pandemic has actually been my busiest season blogging.
Oh,
okay.
I actually find now, especially with our media closing, a lot of our newspapers and our magazines are going to close. And I think the value of influencers and bloggers is now being seen. And this has been the busiest season, not just for me for work, but also for people reading my blogs. So I was quite shocked. I was like, okay. And honestly, I haven't put out as much content as I normally would because I've had Hamish under my feet and, husbands at home and life. But for me personally, I don't feel that it was my most active season, but it's definitely been my most financially beneficial season.
well, blogging is about connecting.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all sitting at home. No one's allowed to go out to a bar. We're not allowed to socialize. We can't have play dates with our kids. So this is why I'm saying right now, I mean, this is the ultimate time. We're all sitting at home. The only thing we've got is internet and our kids, So it's a brilliant time to start blogging. It's perfect. And no, I don't think there's any rules you have to stick to. And once again, I'm going to go back right to the beginning and say, get started, see what fits you. You might find blogging once a month is all you can handle with your kids and your work and your husband and I don't know what else you've got on. Or you might find that as a stay-at-home mom, the only thing that keeps you sane is the fact that you can blog because you're so tired of the breastfeeding and the husband and the dishes and the this and the that. It's something that gives you passion and an outlet. So it's all up to you and whatever fits you.
Okay.
Have you got any more questions?
Yes, I have one. About the content, because earlier, I think it's the content and the platform for doing your blog, because I forgot her name, said that she's
Oh,
on
Megan.
WordPress. Megan, yes. Megan was talking about WordPress and where she's how she's like merged her stuff and everything, how it works and all of that. So basically, and obviously because she's a specialist and she knows, basically she's worked for so many years with it, does your platform matter, and where you start and how you start?
Well, I think no matter where you start, you're going to land up on WordPress. So you may as well start there. That's my personal opinion. But there's, like I say, there's so many different places, and I'm not talking about the WordPress free website. What's it called? Something.wordpress.com. I mean, to actually start your own domain on WordPress, self-hosted. That would be my advice. And like I spoke about Wealthy Affiliate before, you can go there, you can set up your own website for free as you kind of, and you can get the first training course for free, and like start setting up your website and get an idea of the level of training. And then you can sign up and go premium and get your own domain and move it over. And it's also easy to follow and understand. Or you can just go buy your own domain and set it up on WordPress and then get it hosted somewhere. So yeah, it's basically buying your domain, setting it up on WordPress and hosting it. So those are the three things you'd need to get started, in my opinion.
Okay,
I mean, you could go to a free website, but I don't advise that.
So basically it's to get started first, and then also to do the website. So basically starting on WordPress itself.
Yeah. I don't know if you've got a different opinion, Judy.
No, I'm watching Hamish busy playing with my stuff here. No, I started on a free site, and two things I discovered. One, I outgrew the free site very, very quickly. And secondly, the brands won't take you seriously. If you're looking to do this as a business, especially as an influencer, a free site isn't going to be beneficial to you in the long run, which means that ultimately you're going to have to choose move your content to a paid site. I'm still trying to move my 2,000 odd blogs from my free site to my paid site.
Oh.
So so there's a lot of negatives to using a free site. There's a lot of positives. So if you're not doing it looking long term as a business, and you just really want an outlet and you want a hobby, or just a way to express yourself, or a way to just maybe get the feel of things, I would suggest a free site, because it doesn't make sense to pay for something, pay for hosting if you're really not doing it to generate an income.
Can I just say, that's a really good benefit of joining Wealthy Affiliate, because Wealthy Affiliate actually has a free option where you can try before you buy, and you do the first course through Wealthy Affiliate and you get a free website. And that free website it's the easiest thing. At the click of a button, you could build your whole website on the free website. And in fact, that's what I did with Happy Human Pacifier. I built it on a free website. And then you just click a button and you switch it over to your domain, just like that. And then you don't have to send it across or anything. It's all linked. So if you use the right website, that's kind of the gateway site to your paid domain one day, you go. So getting to know that upfront is really helpful, and that's one of the recommendations why we would join Wealthy Affiliate. You can start free, you can use their first course free, and you can get a free website that will easily switch to a paid website when you're ready to start your own domain.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Perfect. Have you got any other questions? All for today. Cool. Ramon, thank you so much for joining us. It's been absolutely fantastic. You are my first, not Judy and Lauren, I specifically asked to come be guests, and Megan, but you are like my first guest on live video. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
So much fun.
Thank you.
It's been a joy having you. And if you have any questions, just let one of us know.
Thank you guys so much. This was so awesome. Really, it was.
Perfect.
All the best. Good luck.
Thank you.
Cool. Bye, Bronwyn.
Bye.
Okay, let me have a look. Ooh, where's my...
Madeleine's been waiting in the wings for a while.
Who's waiting?
Madeleine.
Madeleine. She's not there anymore, unfortunately.
Oh, she said good to go. That was a while back.
Let me see. Lisa, are you ready? Can you hear me? Lisa, if you're ready, give me a thumbs up. You want to come live? Oopsie. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
It's wonderful to have you here.
Oh, it's been great. Thank you.
Good. Have you got any questions for anybody?
Yeah, I've been considering the option of blogging. I've been writing since I was a child. I enjoyed writing stories, fiction mostly. But then I decided a while back that I wanted to write a book. I've got quite a story to tell, but then life got in the way of it, and kids and business. I'm running a business at this stage and trying to homeschool kids at least now every second day. And so I don't know if blogging would be a good alternative to start telling the story in bits and pieces, or if because it was always the idea of a book, but it's been years now and there's just no time. So I feel that blogging would be an easier way to still get the story across and telling it in bits and pieces. But do you get people who actually follows and read every blog? I mean, I don't follow any blogs that I read every single post of or anything like that. I don't know if you've seen it.
Great. Oh, Lisa, can I take this one then?
Yeah, go for it.
That was the reason I started blogging. I wanted to write a book. I still want to write a book. And then the blogging bag bit, and I landed up just creating blog after blog. And, so yes, it is definitely a way, but there is a fantastic way that you can get going with your book in the way that you're thinking. And that is a site called patreon.com. I'm going to put it in the private chat here. Patreon.
Why don't you use your affiliate link and throw it in the comments?
I don't know if I have an affiliate link for Patreon.
You've got an affiliate link. Patreon has affiliate links. I'm pretty sure of it. I was a Patreon. Sorry.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay. Well, put your affiliate link in then. Anyway, Patreon. So Patreon is a way where you can go where anybody who is a creator. So you could be be doing videos. It could be writing books. It could be whatever it is. If you can create something, you can put it up on Patreon, and then people can actually pay you. They become your patrons, and they pay you for the bits that you're putting up. So now you write a chapter and you put it up, and you say, I'm doing a chapter a month and it'll cost $5 a month to be a member. It's kind of like a paid membership site. And then you put up a chapter a month, and it kind of keeps you accountable. It keeps you writing, and it also gets you can start building a following that way. It's really nice. It's a really nice way of doing it. And then you don't have to go and set up a whole blog and everything as well. And there also are ways to, if you don't want to go the whole blog route, you can put it on LinkedIn Publisher, for example, or Medium. A lot of writers, in fact, Medium is one of the best places that wannabe writers go, people who are going to write a book one day, or actually existing authors. So I'm sure there's no affiliate link for this one, but medium.com. If you go to Medium, you can just start putting up that book and people will start to read it. And the great thing about things like that, LinkedIn Publisher and Medium, is there's already a massive audience. So you don't have to go and attract the audience yourself. If you write well and you start going on Medium, you'll start finding that people will start finding you. And it's really, really a great platform specifically for writers. And there are others. I would Google it and go and see which are the best platforms to write as a writer. You know, you don't even need a blog, really.
That's great.
Yeah. And
Oh, that's
I think everybody must blog, though. Everyone must blog.
Okay, you are pro. Yeah.
No, look.
In many ways, just skin a cat. You know, the thing with blogging is the rabbit hole you go down is learning all the ins and outs. Like WordPress is not that simple. You have to go and learn how to create the theme and, you know, which plugins you need to use, and you need to be guided through that process. And so what happens is you spend a lot of time doing technical stuff, you know, and whereas if you just go and blog on LinkedIn Publisher or Medium, you don't have to learn all that stuff. You can just type and it goes up, and you just need to know how to create headlines and maybe how to add a picture is a bad idea. So the easiest way to add pictures is just go to canva.com. And I would definitely start with a free version. Canva is absolutely amazing. You just go to Canva and you just start creating images for your blogs, and that is and it can be as simple as that. But the moment you start going the blogging route, there is a lot of technical know-how that you also need to start accumulating, which happens over time. And depending on how techie you are, that can be a hurdle that you have to jump through. And you know, if you're not very techie, it can be a really big hurdle and actually hold you back from getting your writing out there.
But I just wonder how Lauren and I don't always agree, by the way. I just wonder what would be the difference between going and writing, you know, once a week on Medium, for example. Like, you know, so you've got a book and you're going to obviously divide it up into chapters. So you write a chapter and you put it up on Medium or LinkedIn or whatever. What's the difference between doing that and writing a chapter and just leaving it, and then waiting a bit, writing another chapter and leaving it stored on your computer, and then doing an Amazon Kindle publishing?
Motivation
out there, and you're already getting people's feedback. I like the idea of having it, you know, as soon as you go public with something, there's a certain amount of accountability. So if you go and sit on your computer, like she said, the book's not coming out because, like, you know, you're not getting feedback. It's almost like being a public speaker and you've got an audience of 2 or 3 and you don't, you know, then you don't really, you're not on top form. But if you're a public speaker and you've got an audience of 2,000, oh my goodness, do you have to, you know, do you have to spark? And so the moment you go public, it actually gives you that way to, one, get feedback from your readers, and also be a little more on top form. You know, you're going to be a bit more careful about how you write. You might think about editing it and proofreading it before you actually publish, you know. And it also helps refine your writing. I definitely have found that blogging has helped me refine my writing and get a style, actually get a blogging style or a writing style. I probably had that style before, but it's definitely a refined style and made it more readable, because you can start to see which things people really resonate with. And that really helps, you know, having that third party validation helps enormously as a writer. It can also be not so great, because if you get people who diss your work, that's why I wouldn't say, like, you know, not Facebook. Facebook isn't very friendly.
No, don't do Facebook.
They can be quite nasty. People can be nasty on Facebook. They tend to be less nasty on Medium and LinkedIn. That's just my opinion. Maybe.
But then,
Sorry, can I?
If you're going to blog on Medium as an author, so you're going to put the stories up on Medium, how are you going to earn? And I know there is an opportunity to earn via Medium, but is that the same as earning through your own Amazon book?
No, you still have to put the book together. At some point, you're going to have enough chapters to actually say, okay, now I'm going to create a book. And now you already have an audience to buy that book.
But Amazon has to be original to go onto Amazon Kindle publishing.
Oh.
So you're screwed.
Is
you
it?
can't have it out on the web. That's why I was.
Okay, so that's another thing.
But
So
it could be a way.
the whole
get
thing.
started and get out there and get a bit of an audience. So when you do publish a book,
Yes.
Can I just interject? If you are going to,
yeah.
sorry, can I just interject quickly? If you are writing as a creative and you're writing something, especially like a story and that, it's vital to have a copyright on wherever you're writing. So if that is your blog or if it's on any other medium, I have a copyright on my blog. Just because, especially if you're telling a story and it looks like this is going to become a book, the last thing you want is someone stealing that idea, because that does happen. You hurt yourself. Sorry, guys. Mom duties here.
Yeah. Great, but it's been very insightful. I think I've actually opened all the pages you mentioned here, so I'm gonna sit and look at everything, and I'm gonna consider everything. I think, it's been very helpful. Thank you.
I think also my sister's actually a published author, and she's got some printed books, and she's got some books on Amazon as well. And she said to me that, once you start writing and once you start getting with it and going, it doesn't have to be such a long book. I think the words I remember, I write about 1,000 words to 2,000 words sometimes on a blog post. And she said to me, you got to get like a whole 60,000 words out. I sometimes write 3 blog posts in a day. So I'm like, what, half my book's done, I think when you really just get going with it and push yourself, and Amazon has got the audience there. My sister said she's making great money pumping out. I don't know what she does. She actually puts it under a fake name, so she's got a pseudonym, and she pumps out things like those trashy romance novels and stuff. She says people love it. She just pumps those out, and she's like making a residual income from it.
Okay.
That's great.
Maybe I can put you in contact with my sister.
No, that would also be great. I think,
Just pop me an email or pop me an inbox message or something. I know she's in the UK and she's got like this writers group, and I don't know what they all do. Probably write. I don't know.
Probably.
But she is published both in print and in Amazon ebooks.
That's great. I'm going to put my email address in the comments. I would really appreciate.
Don't put it in the comments.
Wait,
that's private. That's the private chat. That's perfect. Yeah, I was just saying, don't put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Trust me, I get lots of weirdos inboxing me on my page and emailing me from the page. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, it's private chat at least.
Cool. Have you got any more questions?
No, I think you've covered. I had a few, but I think you've covered it as we went along. About audience and everything as well that I was wondering about. But no, you covered it well. Thanks.
Cool. Awesome. Lovely to have you.
Oh, thanks. It was good being here.
Good luck. I hope you get your book out before I do. It's taking me ages.
I hope so. Okay.
Awesome. Cool. Bye, Lisa.
Bye.
Let's see. Lisa Jenica, are you ready? Are you there? You'll have to connect the microphone and your screen.
Yes.
Lisa, if you just connect. Whoop, there we are. I'm going to put you live now. You ready?
Useful.
Hi, Lisa. Lovely to see you.
Hi.
I see you just here on private message that you started an Instagram page dedicated to your blog, and you would like to expand, but you need to focus on your blog. Mom's pre and post pregnancy. Oh, and you got a 2-month-old baby. That's so sweet. You must be so tired.
I am in my pajamas.
No, it's fine. I've got my pajamas under here, and I've got 2 pairs of pants on, and I'm in bed. So that's perfect. Cool.
So,
what questions do you have?
So I just wanted to know. I basically started on Instagram already, and I know I think Judy or you actually mentioned going on using, was it called Wild something?
Oh, Wealthy Affiliate, yeah.
Yes. So how do you move your Instagram blog type of thing onto that platform?
Okay, well, first of all, you've got to remember that you've got a blog, which is a website, okay?
Yeah.
And then you've got social media, which is Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, all of that.
Yeah.
And like Judy mentioned already, Instagram, a long post on Instagram, it's got how many characters is it, Judy?
Oh, no, I can't tell you offhand. Sorry.
Okay, well, I don't know how
No,
many
I think it's
characters
140. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think it's about 140
that's
somewhere there.
Twitter. That's
No,
Twitter.
it's
Is
Instagram
it?
is
Oh,
much
gosh,
longer.
I don't know, guys. I just
I
write.
think it's 250.
Yeah.
No, it's 500.
Anyway, on Instagram, you've got a limit of the amount of characters you can use, and I think it's 1,400.
No, I think
Something like
less.
that. So you can only write a very short amount on Instagram. So if you're going to take that Instagram post that you've created and you're going to put that onto a blog post, it's going to be an incredibly short blog post. What I like to do, and the way that I look at it, is my website is my home, and everything else supports my website.
Okay.
So, if you're blogging on Instagram now and you've created a WordPress site, there, Lauren said 2,200 characters for an Instagram post. Thanks, Lauren. I was closer than you, though, Judy.
Just a little.
Yeah, you did a tweet. So, I mean, what I would advise you do is if you want to blog on a website, set your website up, and then you can, find ways to integrate what you're doing on Instagram and what you're doing on your blog. So if you write a new blog post, you can go on Instagram, you can give a little bit of, insight, and then say to people, click on the link in my bio to go to my post. Yeah, like Lauren just said in private message here, for your blog post, you really want to have a minimum of 500 words. But ultimately, what they recommend is that your blog post is 1,800 words to rank well on Google and to get traffic to your website. And what you need to also look at is, if you're on Instagram only, how are you going to monetize your Instagram? So basically, you can do probably just two things. And that would be, number one, influencer marketing. So where I, for example, contact you and say, I want you to promote my blog on your Instagram, and I'm going to pay you $100 to do a post and to put a link in your bio and send people to my website. So then you're going to go create a post and rave about how wonderful I am. I'll send you a picture where my hair's done a bit better. And, so that's one thing. Or it could be a product, Coca-Cola or whatever it is. Okay. And then the other way would be through affiliate marketing. So that's where you sign up, for example, Amazon as an affiliate, or for Kids and Ice Company in South Africa to sign up as an affiliate, and you promote their products and you tell people to click the link on your bio to go buy. But if you're just blogging on Instagram, you really have limited yourself with what you can do, in my opinion. Some people just base their whole income on Instagram. And the one big problem I have with just blogging on social media, and why I don't recommend it, is that Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, everybody's got their own little terms and conditions. And you could put one foot wrong, not even knowing it, because they update their terms and conditions all the time. Someone might not like your face, because you get people like that online, trust me, and they go and report your account. You wake up tomorrow, your Instagram's gone. It's not yours. Your account is on Instagram. They can do what they like with you. So I always recommend that the two things people do that is really important if they want to blog: number one, have your own website. Number two, have your own email list. So that those are the two things that you own that nobody can take away from you. And then you use your social media channels to back up your website and your email list. So you want to drive people to your website, and you want to encourage people to sign up all the time.
Okay.
Does that answer your question, or have I gone way off?
No, that definitely answered my question. Thank you. So I'm definitely going to start there then. And then I'm going to start on, I need you to leave the name of the Wealth.
Wealthy Affiliate. I'll get that for you now.
Can you leave it in the comments? And then I'm going to start there.
Yeah, it is. You can start for free. I do recommend that you use $8 a month. It's quite a bit, but it basically offers you everything that you need. You know, you're going to need a keyword tool so that you know what people are searching for. You're going to need hosting, which is included. You're going to need to kind of know what you're doing, how to work your website, how to create posts. There's videos that describes all of that. And of course, like I said to the other lady, if you go premium, you've got me. So I'll help you online with that. Yeah. Just put my
It's
link here.
obviously something that, it was something that I always wanted to do. And then I obviously had like my baby. So first it was more directed at like pre-pregnancy, and now it's obviously like motherhood. So now some of my posts are based like on pre-pregnancy, but obviously it's not going to be that anymore. It's all like motherhood, like, you know, the journey onwards and whatever. So now how do you like become more focused? Because obviously a lot of the few of my following was following because of pre-pregnancy. And I'm not going to be that focused on that side. Do I target it to like the new audience and gain like more following motherhood wise?
No, you see, now the thing is, when you have a website, you're going to, it's quite different from Instagram. When you have a website, you are going to create a blog post and you are going to use a specific keyword. So you might share your birth story, or you might share, you know, maybe you've got an experience during labor that was scary. Like I went to hospital for a night to be monitored. They thought I had that preeclampsia. So you can write a post about like warning signs of preeclampsia or whatever it is that you want. And what's going to happen is people are going to search in Google. So, for example, when I got preeclampsia and I had to go into the hospital, I searched on Google. What are the signs of preeclampsia? What does it mean when you have preeclampsia? What are the dangers? So you would write a post on that and you would target those keywords. So it doesn't mean that you've got it right now. It just means that you wrote that post, but 3 years down the line, someone could type in there the dangers of preeclampsia. What does it mean? What are the signs? They will come to your post. Okay, and your post is dated, so someone will see, okay, you had that 3 years ago, but they read through your experience. So it doesn't mean that just because you are not pregnant now, you can't have pregnant readers. And anyway, your pregnant readers are not going to be pregnant forever. They're going to give birth, and they're going to go along the same journey that you have. I still write loads of posts on pregnancy, loads of posts on how to get pregnant, which is not a problem I've ever had. I've had lots of surprises. So, it just means that you're providing that information on your blog. It doesn't always necessarily even have to be your personal experience. It could just be, I mean, obviously the more personal you get, the better it is. But a lot of the articles I write are, I use the keyword. I don't know what you do, Judy. I think most of your stuff is more personal.
A lot of my stuff is, I was just going to interject here, and I think what you're asking is how are your readers going to follow you into your new niche? I don't know if that's what you're asking, Lisa. So my first thought was going to say to you, so your readers already have probably had their little ones. And so now they are looking for, what are you doing next? Am I also sitting up at 2 a.m. and breastfeeding? So these are the questions. So they will grow with you as well. When I first had Hamish, when I first started my blog, I'd had Hamish, but I've got 6 other kids. So I interject a lot of stuff into my blogs. So I'm talking about teenagers one week, and then the next week I'm talking about the fact that I don't like my teenagers some days. There's a lot of stuff that goes on there. But I still speak a lot about what Hamish does. We also, Hamish and I, we were homeschooling at one stage, and then he went to school, now he's homeschooling again. So whatever stage I am in, I tend to write about that. But there's still always, because I then put everything onto social media, so all my blogs are then marketed through social media, onto Pinterest. Anybody at any stage can then come along, type in what they're looking at under Google, and find that information that I perhaps wrote 3 years ago. But your readers will grow with you, especially if you've got established social media accounts. So that's where your social media, your Instagram, your Facebook become really, really important to grow your following, to lead back to your blog. Everything should ultimately lead back to your blog.
Yeah, totally.
Once you have a blog.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
Thanks.
And not the 140 characters either.
No, I don't know about Twitter, hey. It just does not work for me.
You know, I've got Twitter. I tweet occasionally.
I've got
Don't know if
Twitter.
it's any.
I just don't.
I've
It's not my place.
got 94 followers. Whoop whoop.
I've got 23,000 on one, and I don't even know where they are because they're not there when I tweet. But then again, I don't.
No, I don't know.
Everybody's going
I'll
on
give you some love on Twitter.
Thanks. Don't give me any because I'm never there. I use software to do my stuff there because I don't like it. I don't even log on. I'm bad. It's probably why nothing happens.
I find Pinterest is really good. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, no,
You've got a great course on Pinterest. You must go to Lady Bloggers Engage.
yeah, but I've told her
Yes.
that she just doesn't listen.
No, guys. Live. I'm just saying, 3-year-olds,
No.
you saw how hard this conversation was. So yeah, I'm getting there. I promise, Lynn, I'm getting there.
You're excused for 2020. Totally, it's fine. Next year, I'll get you.
No, you'll get me before the end of this year. Now I feel compelled. I got homework, girls.
Lisa, have you got any more questions?
No, that's all. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, and pop your Instagram. What do they call it? Your thing. Put that in the comments.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.
And we've got Stephanie. Stephanie, can you hear us? Let's see if Stephanie is there. She looks like she's there. Let me just have a look. And if Stephanie does not respond, we're going to answer some questions now. Okay. Let me just say, can you add your video? And okay, if Stephanie adds the video and sound, we'll get her just now. Let's go to some comments. We've got loads of comments here on this. Okay, so we've got, let's just have a look here. Okay, so we've got a question from Vicky. I don't know if Vicky is still here though. Does a blog have to be a thing that is very long and detailed? I don't have the time to write long blog posts. So I'm going to go back to what we've all been saying from the beginning. I think, no, a blog post does not have to be very long and detailed. I think it's got to be, oh, there's Stephanie. Okay, I'll just finish this question and then Stephanie, I'll add you to, yeah, you got the thumbs up. We're just going to answer this question and then I'll add you to the video to come chat with us. Okay, so no, I don't think a blog post has to be a long and detailed thing all the time. I do feel that the longer the blog post is, the easier it is to rank and to get traction on that post. But if you don't have a lot of time and you've got something that you need to get out there, yes, get it out there and just do it, even if it's 300 words. In fact, I've had a blog post rank on page 1 of Google before, and I think it was 300 words or 280 words and a video. So the rules don't always exactly apply to that 1,800 words. I think it's got to be unique, it's got to be authentic, and it's got to be something you need to get out there. Lauren, Judy, have you got anything you want to add to that?
No, I totally agree. I write a lot of craft blogs with crafts Hamish and I do, and I don't even think some of them are 200 words. But they rank really well, but that's also because then I push them onto Pinterest. So I think it also depends on your niche, and I think it depends on, who your audience are. I've always said I write for moms. We've got 5 minutes to read. So I want something I can read in the bathroom. So not all of my blogs are very long. In fact, I dislike the blog intensely. It's about 150 words. It's how to make a biltong cake, and it gets hits every single day, and I just don't understand because I think it's the worst blog I've ever written.
Yeah, funny how that happens sometimes, hey?
Yeah.
Lauren, you've seen that one.
Judy, you can go back and add to blogs that are getting lots of hits.
No, I know, but
They go for the keyword, they want to learn how to make a biltong cake, but you can go and make that one really count for you if you're getting hits every day.
I'm just wondering how I could make it any longer.
I
think some people don't write a blog post because they find it only gets to 300 or 400 words, and then they think, oh no, this is not going to be good enough, and then they don't do it. And I think, Vicky, especially for you here, you're saying you're not getting to blog because you don't have the time to write a long blog post. But writing a short blog post every day or every couple of days is going to be better than not writing any blog post on your website. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. I mean, my theory is just keep getting the content out there. Don't send out like crap content that you don't put any effort into. But if you are spending the time and effort to write a blog post, I don't think it has to be that long. I think it just has to get out there. Okay, I'm going to be adding Stephanie. Stephanie, just give me another thumbs up. Okay, Stephanie's ready.
All right. Hi.
Hello, Stephanie. Great to have you.
Hi. Thank you so much for having the live, first of all. I'm really enjoying it. You already answered one of my questions with Vicky's question. And one of the things that I was thinking about with the blogging and everything, sorry, baby just woke up. But so I always wanted to have a blog and even have a YouTube channel and all these things. But the thing is, there's a lot of things that I would like to talk about. There's a lot of things that I want to do, but I don't know if I should have just one blog for everything or different blogs to keep things together. So I have 3 kids, 2 of them are twins, and we are homeschooling. They're just babies now, so we're just doing preschool type things. I would like to talk about that, maybe share with other moms our lifestyle, how we do things. And there's also the other stuff that I like to do for myself. So I love to knit, I love to sew, I did study design and all these things. And I want to share that as well, but I don't know if it's the same audience because, for example, with the design, I will probably be doing like women's wear, and it's not necessarily things that someone who's focused on motherhood would want to learn. I don't know if I should keep everything in the same place or have like different venues for these things. What would you recommend in my case, for example?
Once again, there's going to be lots of conflicting opinions on this. I think what you need to look at is, I mean, I can tell you that at one stage, I think I had about 8 or 9 websites. Don't do that. Okay. That's impossible to manage. I know some people told me, I know someone that said he had 30 websites and he manages them all himself. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. If you post something once every 2 years on each site, maybe. But I just don't feel that spreading yourself between a lot of websites is going to be a good plan, especially if you've never blogged before and if you've never run a website before. I would either, I mean, my personal feeling is I would have liked to have just had one website because it just gets completely out of control, especially, I mean, you're a mom, you're homeschooling, you got 3 kids. You need to kind of keep things as simple as possible, in my opinion. So what some people do is say, you must set up one website that only talks about this. I don't necessarily agree. If you look at my website, Kaboki, I've got health, I've got garden, I've got home, I've got weight loss, I've got mental health, I've got parenting, breastfeeding, birth. So I've got everything on that website. And I think that's it's nice. Most moms have got the same, I'm not to say we're all like in the same little box and this is what we all like, but I do feel that we've got very similar interests and stuff that we do every day. So recipes, craft activities with your kids. I mean, that's going to appeal to most people, most of the audience. If you love cars and you like flower arranging, I don't think you put that on the same website. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are your 2 interests, and you want to blog about both, separate those 2. But self-care and health, beauty, fashion, parenting, I do feel you can put all of that together because your audience of moms are going to have similar sort of interests.
I agree. I would definitely, I totally echo what Lynn is saying. Start with one blog. I started with 3. And, the problem is when you've got more than one blog, you need to have more than one of every social media platform you decide to go on as well that links with the blog. And it's a hell of a lot of work. If you start with one and you get to understand blogging, and then after a year or 2, when your first blog is really rocking, then is a good time to start another blog. Once you really get the hang of it, that's what I say. Rather cut your teeth on one blog. I think it was a mistake starting 3 personally. If I could go back and do it all over again, I would also have just started with one.
Yeah, same here. Judy?
No, totally agree, especially if you've never done it before, because it is a lot of work and it is time consuming. So it's easy, and you can, as a mom, just group it all together. And you also find that where you can start to specialize it is as you watch your social media platforms, if you find that your audience are more geared towards your sewing crafts, and then you know that you can start to niche off into that at a later stage once you've built an audience. But it's definitely best to gather your audience on one platform to start with.
Yeah, definitely. And then also, you have different categories on your website. So you've got your website where people arrive, and you can have your categories down the sidebar. So you're going to have sewing, parenting, self-care, all of that. So when people come to your website, they can go, don't like that, don't like that. Oh, I like sewing. And they click on the category over there. So, you can categorize it nicely on your website. Also, when you start with your email list, you can have different segments in your list. So you can say to people, sign up here to get my sewing information, or sign up here for my parenting. So you can design emails, and you can send an email out to just those people and say, I've got a new sewing article on my website, come have a look. So there's many ways that you can kind of get around the different categories and the different niches on your main niche.
Yeah, that makes sense, because I was thinking about doing 2 blogs, and it just seems too overwhelming. That's why I've been delaying starting. But yeah, thanks. My other question, if I remember correctly, was about different social medias and different platforms where you would put your content. So I was watching yesterday another YouTube blogger talking about the different platforms that she used. And it seems like there's a lot of places where you can put your content just to get traffic and to get people to see your blog, or even buy your products if you have them. And I wanted to ask you your experience between Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. Like, I mean, it's like there's a new one every day almost, and it can get really overwhelming. So if you were beginning, where would you start with? Would you start sharing your articles on Facebook more, or would you do more like Instagram posts, or more Pinterest? And there, like, do you have a specific strategy for each platform, or do you just do the same thing everywhere? Like, how do you figure it out? How do you start? Because in the beginning, it's so overwhelming. Like, I have a Pinterest for my own fun where I just pin like all the homeschooling stuff that I like. But I don't know where I'll even begin putting like my own articles with my own things. With Facebook, it seems like easy because we go on there all the time, and you can just make a page and put things. But then how do you get people to go and like the page? And with Instagram, it's like, okay, the people like pretty pictures, but then the pictures don't necessarily link back to your content because you can't really put a link that people can click on. So it's a bit complicated. Where would you start as a beginner with all these different platforms? Or do you just blog and then leave it at the blog? It's a different thing, you can't like it.
Well, I think this is a fantastic question, and I think this is where a lot of people get overwhelmed in the beginning, is that they start their blog and they go and they put a Facebook page up and a Facebook group because they don't know which is which, and they go and they do Instagram and a page and a Pinterest and a YouTube, and they just do everything. But I think it's really important that each social media channel has a very specific way of working and of working for you. And the thing is, I think if you're just going to go sign up everywhere, you're not going to understand how each thing works. You're not going to be able to keep up with it. So what I would do is I would start off with one and set up your social media profile for your business on it. and start sharing to that and get a handle on how it works. And I recommend Facebook and as your first one to start with. And the reason for that is you're probably already on Facebook. You probably already have a rough idea of how Facebook groups and pages work. You've seen pages. And the majority of people I find are on Facebook already. And Facebook works really well for the mommy niche as well. So that would be my recommendation. I don't like Twitter. We were just laughing about Twitter recently. I don't find it very helpful. But if you're already on Twitter and you're already enjoying it and you're finding that you enjoy it, then, you know, perhaps that is a way to go. But I would recommend starting with wherever you already are on a personal basis. So if you're on YouTube all the time, you love YouTube, you're following people on YouTube, set up a YouTube channel, get started with that. But take one at a time. So wherever you are most, if you are mostly on Facebook, start there. And if you're also on YouTube, add there. And if you're on LinkedIn already, create a page. So tackle them one by one and use the networks that you're already on. I do recommend Facebook, Pinterest, and YouTube. And LinkedIn, I suppose, because Lauren's here. I've got to say that. She's the LinkedIn lady. Twitter, if I wasn't already on Twitter, I wouldn't even sign up anymore. For me, it's an absolute waste. But the reason Facebook has got a huge audience, and it's almost like if you're not on Facebook, you don't exist. Like if I go look for a company on Facebook, I don't see them there. I think, well, do you even exist? LinkedIn is professional. So I would definitely choose LinkedIn because you'll get a lot of work once you start figuring out how to work LinkedIn and your page. You'll get some good work through there. Pinterest is a gold mine for traffic. It's fantastic when you figure it out. And YouTube, I think, is really good because whether people follow you on YouTube or not, I don't have that many followers on YouTube and I don't focus on getting followers there. But like, for example, this is being streamed to YouTube and to my Facebook page. I then take the YouTube video and I embed that into my blog and people watch my blog. And having a YouTube video on your blog post is going to boost your blog post. And it's going to create that personal connection with people. So I'm not interested in people following me on YouTube. I don't really care about that, but I use it because YouTube is part of Google. So if you have a YouTube video that goes on your blog post, it boosts your blog post.
Sorry, Lynne.
Yes.
Sorry, Lynne. The Instagram, if you're looking at starting a mommy blog, the Instagram mommy communities are really, really strong. And the brands are definitely looking on Instagram at the mommy bloggers. Especially like the little cups and the bottles and that, and they do look out, so they will see there. The downside to Instagram that I personally don't like is that you cannot share your link. So my link is always in my bio, but by using your Instagram stories, you're also able then to boost your blog link. I must tell you, I don't get very many links from Instagram itself. So when I go and I check out my blog, where my clicks are coming from, and most of it is from Facebook. I established a Facebook page right in the very beginning before I even blogged. So my audience is still predominantly from Facebook. But if you're looking at starting up a mommy blog in particular, and you're looking for that network or you're looking for that kind of connection, I would definitely recommend getting onto Instagram and starting to connect and follow other mom bloggers, just so that you can see, you mentioned you've got twins. There's some lovely blogger moms out there with twin groups. There's some lovely Insta mommies who are homeschooling. So in that regard, you can already start to build up your community. So you've already got your readers and your audience.
Yeah, I was going to come to Instagram last. I've got a love-hate relationship with Instagram.
Me too.
No, it's perfect. I mean, I love what you've said. I've learned a bit more. I do find that people looking to advertise do check on Instagram. So that is a biggie, like you mentioned. I also, how am I going to say this without offending tons and tons of people? Like, I love your Instagram page, Judy, and I love yours, Lauren, as well. I am not fond of the fakeness on Instagram. No. Those photos, you know, and the thing is, like, I look at people's Instagram and I think, please, man, you've used a green screen, or that's not your house. I'm sorry, you've got the toddler next to the white couch, and you've got like twin babies, and you've got a 5-year-old, and you've got a white couch that's glistening. No,
But you see, Lynne,
you know, I just look at it and I think, but you know, and I had somebody inbox me on Instagram and say to me, "Why do I have no pride? Because I don't edit my photos."
I remember.
No, I do have pride, which is why I don't edit my fat rolls out. She said, "You don't edit your fat rolls out." You know, and that was a while back, and it upset me, but it also, it was just an eye-opener, you know, and I think that, you know, brands are often looking for those highly edited photos. I had someone take a job with me before, and I put my photo up, and they said to me, "Oh, but your photo isn't such high class." And I said, "But you contacted me through Instagram, and you chose me through Instagram. Why don't you look at all my Instagram photos? Because that photo is the same quality as all the others." You know, and I just feel, yeah, I do have pride in myself. I just don't want to be grouped together with that league of blogger, because to go and take a photo and make it that there's nothing real about it, it gives me the chills. I don't like it.
The other
But I
problem
think
with
that's
Instagram is the fake following on Instagram. I don't figure that. I have not bought one follower, used one bot to build my Instagram, and so it's built very, very slowly. But, you know, you see people who've got 20,000, 30,000 followers, and they got that through a bot, you know, following and unfollowing people. It's not real. I don't like that. I don't want to compete against people who are not real. So and the other thing I find very frustrating with Instagram is if I've got a blog post, and because I'm mainly a blogger, I'm not a social media person. So I'm going to share my blog post really easily to every other platform except Instagram. I have to go and create a whole separate thing and have to go and put it up on Instagram. I have to first download it to my phone. Then I have to use it, you know, because it's a phone app. It's a pain for me. So if I hire a social media person, the first thing they're going to take over is Instagram. I can't stand it. It's just, to me, a waste of time.
Well, that's it. Just for me, it's a lot of work, and I see just so much fakeness on Instagram that it makes me think, well, I don't fit Instagram. I don't fit there.
You see,
it's not my spot. So I am there. I do about a post a week, and I don't edit my photos, and I don't try very hard, because it's just not me.
But I think that's where the integrity and the authenticity comes in. And that is why if you're blogging with, can you just be quiet just for 2 minutes? Thank you, love. I think if you're blogging with integrity, you're not necessarily needing to spruce up your photos so that it looks like you've had every photo taken in a Photoshop, you know. And I think if you're authentic enough, listen, I post really, really, really bad photos some days.
I love it.
Hamish's eyes are wonky, and there's dirt by my feet some days. I'm convinced. But the truth is, I mean, you've seen how hard it is to have this conversation with him at home. And why would I not represent that on my posts when I'm speaking to other moms? You know, so for me, I don't like there's a lot of amazing, I like the real. There's a lot of amazing accounts that look stunning, and I love them, and I really wish I was that Insta mommy, but I'm really not.
No, same. I'm not that Insta mom.
I'm not that Insta mom. But for engagement with regards, I have a very similar love-hate relationship with Instagram, but from a blog point of view, especially if you're mommy blogging, there is definitely a benefit to having an Instagram, especially if you're looking to work with brands at a later stage. But don't lose your voice. Don't lose.
No, I'm not going to.
Authenticity. In general. You become the influencer. Don't be influenced by others. So if your toddler runs around in muddy shoes, let them run around in muddy shoes. It's time as moms took our voices back and we said, you know what? We don't all live in carte blanche houses, and we definitely don't all feed our children beautifully laid out food all day. I wish I did.
No.
But this is it. You know, and as moms,
But as moms, we actually need to take our voices back on these platforms. So we need to say, enough, guys. It's really pretty, but we don't have that. We're just moms. So if a brand wants to hear what real moms think about their products, they should be using real Instagram accounts.
No,
Again,
I
it
agree
seems
with you.
polarizing, doesn't it? So at some point you have to polarize online. You have to say, I stand for this. This is who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not a follower, I'm a leader. And this is how I feel.
I'm a scruffy mom.
This is a platform that
I'm a-
suits you.
I'm a scruffy mom, and I like other moms that are a little bit scruffy. I don't like it when the hair's all perfectly curled and the manicured nails and the shaped legs. I mean, I don't even know what my legs look like anymore. It's winter.
We're not talking
But,
legs,
you know, the
Lynne. We're
thing
not
is, like,
talking legs.
I can't do the perfect. I can't shop in high heels. I can't. I'm not that person.
And that's why we love you. Guys, I'm going to have to sign off in a few minutes. I think my attention span, I'm now doing circles outside. So
Oh, no, that's
I'm going
fine.
to
You're making a runner.
yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Judy. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute
Thank
pleasure.
you for
So much
having
fun.
me. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
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 Bye. Okay, Stephanie.
I had a third question before I go to this person here. So my third question was, so monetizing the blog. So let's say I've started my blog and everything is fine and everything is sorted. What would you recommend people do first? Like, because I know some people have affiliate links, others have brand deals and things like that. I see a lot on YouTube. People have affiliates and brand deals. Some people have their own products, and some people just have ads on their blog pages and things like that. So, what is the best or the easiest if you let's say you have a mom blog and like a basic mom blog and you do crafts and recipes and things like that, which would work best? And especially here in South Africa, a lot of people work with Amazon, but I can't shop on Amazon because the shipping is more expensive than the product. So do we have our own similar websites like Take-A-Lot or I don't know, even Loot or something like that that has affiliates also? Or how do you work it basically? How do you make that work in order to like benefit from your blog financially?
Okay, so this is a very good question. So the first thing that I would advise you to do before you monetize anything is that you work on your blog. Okay, think of a blog like being a shop in a traffic mall. Think of your blog of being a shop in a mall. Okay, so if there's no traffic, if there's no people walking around that mall, you're not going to make any sales. Okay, and in the same way, your website is your store. It's your storefront. Okay, so what you need to do is the only way to get content to your to get traffic to your blog is through creating content. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set up your website. You're going to make it look nice. You're going to start creating content. You're going to start learning how to get that content ranking, and you're going to start getting people reading your blog in little bits and pieces. You're going to start sharing your blog on social media and building that up. Okay, there's no point in monetizing your blog in any way until you've got some traffic coming to your website. That's number one. Okay, so you kind of got to forget about making money and work on building your authenticity, building your voice, building your traffic, building your audience. And the amazing thing with building a blog, what I found is that you can, very often you will find that someone will contact you with an offer before you've actually monetized your site. So you know what I recommend you do is you start building yourself as an influencer. So your favorite coffee, great, take a photo, write a blog post, review it, say what you love about it, what's where people can buy it, the different brands of coffee in that, the different Nescafe's got Nescafe Gold, they've got Nescafe, what's that, I don't know what they all are, okay, but they've got a huge range. So you could write about Nescafe coffee and all the different coffees and rank them from the ones you love the most to the least, etc. Whatever. You can get creative. Buy a new top, take a photo, put that on Instagram, tag Edgar's or wherever you bought it. So you kind of start building yourself as an influencer through your blog. So you can write about pregnancy and parenting and twins and all of that, but within that, you can start mentioning products. And when you do that, you might find Mr. Price sees your post and they're like, hey, she's mentioned Edgar's. Let's send her a top. And see if she'll mention us. And you slowly but surely start building up as an influencer and as a blogger. So that is a natural occurrence that will happen when you start blogging. Okay, and then to answer your question, you don't want to start adding affiliate links to your website too early, because when you do that, it can have a negative effect on your ranking. And likewise, with adding Google ads, you need to have a certain amount of traffic on your website before Google will approve you to have the ads. So you have to start blogging and be like a very active blogger before you can often start earning money online. Amazon, for example, you can sign up as an affiliate, but you've got to make, I think it's 3 sales within the first 3 months. Otherwise, they cancel your account. So if you sign up as Amazon before you've even written a blog post, they'll say you're approved, but after 3 months, they kick you out. So you've got to have some traffic on your blog before you start monetizing it. And very often what will happen is people will contact you, like I say, and it's almost like when you start your blog, you don't quite know where you're going, but you just blog. You're kind of like fumbling around in the dark. But as you go, things start falling into place. People start contacting you. You start finding something you're really interested in. You start veering off. Very often companies that do have affiliate programs will contact you and say like, hey, you'd like right in our niche, market our stuff, you can earn commission. To go back onto you mentioned Amazon. I am an affiliate of Amazon. I do make income through Amazon. It's not a huge amount, but I do earn, and people do buy from Amazon. I actually buy from Amazon. They've got a huge range of products, better than shops we have here. And I bought some lovely sports bras. That was about a year ago, and I still haven't reviewed them. They're lovely. And I shared on social media about those sports bras, and 2 people bought. So people do buy from Amazon. So I do recommend that you sign up. The thing is, what I like about Amazon is it's such an easy affiliate program to use and to add to your blog post. I just love the way it's set out, because you can get images from them that if someone clicks on the image, it goes to their program. You've got all different types of ads. You've got links. You can do so much with it. And like I say, any blog post you're writing, you can find a way to work an affiliate link to Amazon in, because they've got such a wide range of products. Take a lot. They suck. Absolutely suck. No, I'm kidding. I love Take-A-Lot. The reason why I say they suck is they don't have an affiliate program. And that makes me so angry. No, they don't. And I've emailed them, and they're not. No, it makes me so angry, because if they had an affiliate program, I mean, I would coin it through that. Absolutely coin it. But they don't. So that's why I hate Take-A-Lot. I buy from them, but I don't like them. They must have an affiliate program. For a Kid, do you know them?
No, I've not heard of them.
forAkid.co.za. They've got amber teething necklaces. They've got all these teething products. They've got nappy bags. They've got, what else? No, they've got loads of stuff. They've got a lovely affiliate program. And the owner of that company, Ali, is fantastic. I love it a bit. So they've got a affiliate program. I'm trying to think of who else in South Africa. Net Florist, you know them?
Yeah.
They have an affiliate program. It's through affiliate.co.za. Mentality for men's gifts, and you'll be surprised how well that does, because women don't know what the hell to buy them in.
I do either.
So write articles every Father's Day, every Christmas, every Valentine's Day. A list of 10 great gifts for your man for Valentine's. And then you sign up with Mentality, and you add all of their links in. Mom Diary. Do you know Mom Diary?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Alison Deary.
I saw
It's
that.
now Papery. She's just started an affiliate program. And so that's for mom diaries, for journals, all sorts of stunning products. So that's one place you can sign up as well. But yeah, I mean, what I like to do is any company that I love and I find their website online, I just scroll to the bottom and you see in the footer, they'll often have information about an affiliate program there.
Mm. Yeah, I'll check the website that you sent. I'll have a look.
Yeah, but the sound's not that good. If you inbox me, I can send you a list of a couple of affiliate programs in South Africa for sure.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for the live. I'm learning a lot. I think I'll actually
Cool.
start end of this month because
Awesome.
I already had everything. I even have like some blog posts written and everything, but I just didn't put it out there. I think I'll get started now, and I'll check also the wealthy affiliate that you
Yeah,
sent.
check that out because I love those guys. They do step-by-step stuff. So you sign up with them and they say, right, click over there to do your course. The course says this is how you set your website up, and it shows you on video, and you literally just follow what they show you in the video, and they set your website up step by step, and they take you through like so many important steps you need to know. It's absolutely fantastic. And like I say as well, if you sign up there and you go premium, I will help you with everything along the way. I've actually created about, I think, over 100 training videos on there myself. So, yeah, if you're confused and you don't know how to do something, I can maybe make a video for you and pop it up there for you to follow step by step. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Lynn.
It's a pleasure. Have a great weekend, and your baby's so cute and so well behaved.
She is. She's so quiet. She doesn't cry unless she's hungry. So that's awesome for me.
Oh, stunning. I had a boy like that. The only time he squawked was when he needed a bit of boob. And then he was just happy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Pleasure. Bye. Okay. Lauren's just taken a little walk over there. Okay, she's just dealing with her son. So I'm going back to the questions. So we've done Vicky's question about a blog post being wrong. And then Vicky again has asked, what about her spelling and grammar if it's not perfect in the tenses? Yeah, I know Vicky. She's actually done one of my live videos with me on miscarriage and loss, and she's Afrikaans. Vicky, firstly, I'd like to say that I've read a lot of your stuff, and I have chatted to you lots, and your Afrikaans is actually seriously quite good. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. There's also stuff you can use like Grammarly that is free that will check your post for spelling and grammar. So I don't think that that's a big problem. Also, something that I wonder about sometimes is, would it not be a good idea just to write in Afrikaans? Because a huge part of your audience is going to be Afrikaans, and it could be like a big time niche thing to just write in Afrikaans and connect with your audience. But yeah, I don't think that's a huge biggie. And let's see, what else have we got? How do you link your blog to your social media? It's another question from Vicky. Well, within your blog, I'm assuming that you're going to have a WordPress blog. You can add a plugin that's got a social media plugin. So you enter your social media in there. And then within all the social media channels, you usually have a place to put your blog post, your website address. So on Facebook, on your LinkedIn page, on all of your social networks, you link back to your website as well. But yeah, from your blog, you would use a social media plugin. I've got lots of different plugins on different websites, but at the moment, the one that I'm really enjoying is called Simple Social Share. And the reason I like that is because it's so simple. It doesn't give me any problems. We've got Vicky. You've got no clue about online websites, platforms, etc. Yeah, look, there's lots of ways to go about blogging. And at the beginning of the video, Megan mentioned a lot of them. And I just feel that the thing is, it can be so tricky to know exactly what to do, which steps to take next. And that is why, once again, I recommend joining Wealthy Affiliate. I found them, I started my website Kaboki in 2015 as an online store. And I was trying to find out ways to promote my store to get traffic and sales. And through that, I found out about blogging to support my store. And in 2015, I found Wealthy Affiliate. Until then, I was scrambling the whole time, trying to figure it all out on my own. I had some successes and some failures along the way. But when I found Wealthy Affiliate, everything just flew. And within 6 months, I actually shut my online store because they'd shown me so clearly how I could make money from my blog without even having to stock my own products. And with me having a lot more freedom, a lot less work, think of all the expense of all the products I had to buy and stock and package and market and ship and all of that. It was crazy. So I highly recommend joining Wealthy Affiliate because it just puts everything in a nice step-by-step format. It gives you all the tools, the support, the training, everything you need. And Lauren's back. Hi. You're on mute. Can I unmute you?
I have unmuted.
I'm answering questions. So maybe you want to give a bit of input here on Vicky. She's got a WordPress website, by the way.
Oh, okay. So I only can see I have zero clue about online websites, platforms, etc. I would definitely just go Wealthy Affiliate where you can get to learn about all of it. It's all there.
Yep, I've done that.
Yeah.
So we should go to the
that's
next
what I would say as well. That's where you're going to get all that knowledge. That's the best place I know.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go to the next question from Sharon. Do you need money to start a blog? So, no, you don't need money to start a blog per se. Like Megan said at the beginning of the video, you can go on a free platform like Blogger or Wix or one of those. But the problem you're going to get is if you want to be serious about your blog, you are going to want to go for your own domain on your own hosting, your own WordPress website. And, just to do that alone, you're going to have to buy your domain name. You're going to have to pay for your hosting. That's the minimum that I feel you need to do. Your domain name will be $15 a year. Hosting, I don't really know what hosting costs. My Kaboki, I pay $30 a month, but I have quite a bit of traffic. My other websites are hosted for free on Wealthy Affiliate. So once again, I think if you want to just look at how much would it cost to start your blog, I recommend joining Wealthy Affiliate, which costs $49 a month. And then you get you still got to buy your domain name. So that's an extra $15 for a year. But you get your hosting, you get your, you can host, I think, what is it now? Up to 10 websites on Wealthy Affiliate. I think that's what it is now. It used to be something else, but now it's 10. You get your keyword tool, which is something you need. It's a really essential tool. You get your training, you get your support, everything you need all in one place. And if you have that, you can start earning money and you can build your business through that. So no, you don't need money to start a blog, but if you're going to start free, you're going to land up having to move everything over and you're going to be so limited with what you can do. So I recommend spending the $49 a month. What's your recommendation, Lauren?
Same.
Same.
Well, we started in the same place, so I agree.
That's where we met. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to just check here, Vicky again. Does blogging not impact the way people see you as a professional if you talk more personal things? I don't know if you know Vicky, but she's done a video with me before. That was the miscarriage and loss one. So Vicky is a doula and a loss counselor. So
you choose. It depends on what you say, Vicky, in your blogs. You get to decide what you're going to say and how personal you're going to be as a blogger. And obviously you can, if you feel you have an image to portray for your work, then you portray that image. It's all in your hands. You're the one doing the writing. So only write about the things you're comfortable writing about that you feel will not compromise you.
I think it also varies very much on the industry because Vicky, for example, I know she's a doula because I know her personally. So for me, if I wanted to have a doula, I want to know who this person really is, and I'd like to really have a personal connection with that person. So the more personal she gets on her blog, the more connection I'm going to feel, or perhaps not feel, with her. So I will know whether I want to work with her or not. Perhaps in another industry, it wouldn't really be appropriate to get as personal. But my personal feeling is the more personal you are, the more connection you have with your readers and with your clients. So that's just how I feel. But it also is about being comfortable, like Lauren said. To go share something really personal because you think it's going to really help you connect with your audience, but it doesn't feel right with you to share that, then it's not going to be right. Let's see, what else have we got? Okay, so Vicky again asked, does blogging cost money? And I've covered that. Melanie, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. What would be the best advice and approach to get brands to collaborate with you? I've covered this before a little bit when I was talking with, who was I talking with? Oh, it's gone. Oh, no. I'll tell you now who I was talking with.
Lisa Jenica, wasn't it? No,
I think it was Lisa. No, it was no, man.
Lisa.
No, I don't think it was Lisa. Okay. Well, I just covered this recently. It was Stephanie. Yeah. Basically, if you want to get brands to collaborate with you, you've got to start promoting brands. So, you kind of fake it till you make it kind of thing. So I would advise that whatever you're using at the moment, you start sharing about it. So tell people about the great shampoo you're using, take a photo, put on Instagram, get onto Facebook, and start tagging brands and reviewing products as you go along. And once you started doing that, you can also start, and once your following has been built up, you can then start contacting brands that you'd really like to work with, and sending them your rate card, your media kits, and approaching them. Have you got any other advice, Lauren?
No, I totally agree.
I'm going to have to give you the next question then. Let's see what we got.
That's an interesting one. You could do it on your smartphone. There are people who do it on their smartphone, but obviously it's easier to type on a laptop. But yeah, you could essentially do everything on your phone if you wanted to. It's a lot. It would be easier to be an Instagrammer or a YouTuber with just a smartphone than it would be to be a blogger, because obviously typing is a lot faster on a computer than on any other device. At least you need an external keyboard. But yeah, you could do it on an iPad.
I agree with Lauren. I think it can be done. Can I do it? No. I can't do that. I need my laptop. I work on my laptop all day, every day. I cannot personally do it. I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't even try. But I'm not very clever when it comes to my phone. So perhaps there's a big difference between me and other people. Yeah.
I do a lot of side stuff on my phone, so I'm not always on my laptop. But if I'm writing a post, an actual blog post, I will always do that on my laptop.
Yeah, I keep my phone for replying to emails when I'm out and that kind of thing. I don't.
Instagram.
Yeah, I don't use it much.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. Vicky, how often do you suggest a blog should be written and posted?
Okay, so how long is a piece of string? So again, some people say you've got to be consistent and you need to blog on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis or every day. And certainly I've seen that traffic does increase the more you blog, but you've got to fit into your life what works for you. I do find that your audience tends to like, not every audience, I suppose, but generally audiences like consistency. So if they know that you're going to put up a blog post every Monday and they're going to get an email about it every Tuesday, that's pretty nice. I've certainly found that I've been following a lot of top YouTubers and they do the same thing. They have like twice a week. Without fail, they know that on a Tuesday and a Friday or whatever it is, whatever days of the week they choose, they are going to put up a YouTube video, and people start to get used to that consistency. But really, it is up to you. I mean, there's been times, like we've had Megan speaking earlier, there's been times where you're posting 5 times a day, and other times in your life where you can only have time to post once a month, and that's really. But establish your blog first, and to establish it, you need to post as often as you can, at least once a week at the beginning.
Cool. And there's Vicky again. Will it make an impact if we blog once a week or every second week?
It will. You'll build traffic.
I think it will. Yeah, the more you post, the more interaction and the more engagement you're going to get. So I do feel that the more often you can post, the better. But you've got to find the sweet spot. You've got to find the sweet spot between quality content and posting, more often. There's no point in posting every single day and your blog post is, not really good. And, like you put half an effort into it because you can't create a good post. I would rather post once a month or even once every 2 months than post once a week, but it's really bad content. So, yeah, I think find out how often you can post a good quality blog post and stick with that. Well, quality over quantity, all the way, definitely.
And if you don't have the time to write it yourself, get guest bloggers in who can write well, and you can add guest posts so that at least you've got something going up to keep that consistency. Because writing, well, for me, writing takes the longest time. So that's my slowest part of the process. Not everybody's like that. Some people can write a blog post in an hour. Some posts take me a whole day. I took a whole day to write a 2,500 word post on Friday. And, it really totally depends on what you're writing and how long the post is and how much research you do. And I mean, that was just the writing of the post. I'd already done research for maybe 5 days before that. So it's totally up to you how much you can put out. And I think getting in guest bloggers can really help you. And some of them may even pay you to appear on your blog.
Yeah, perfect. And you can also get content writers. You can actually pay someone, if it's worth your while, you could pay someone to write your content for you. So you don't have to, you can just come up with the content ideas and, what you're going to be writing and get someone to actually write the content for you, which saves a lot of time and effort.
It will help you get that consistency for sure.
Yeah.
And
and Vicky,
never run out of content. Lynne's got a brilliant idea for this.
do I?
She never run out of content. Yes, you were talking about it the other day. I never run out of content.
There's so many ways to come up with ideas for content. I mean, Pinterest is a gold mine. Go onto your page, see what questions people are asking you, go to your comments on your blog, find out what people are asking you there. The other thing is that using a keyword tool is really important. And when I have got an idea for content, I'm going to go research keywords to see what keyword I can focus on for that blog post. And when I'm researching keywords, I come up with like so many ideas and I come across so many cool keywords. So I have a little notebook and I just write down all those keywords. And when I kind of can't come up with an idea for something, I open up my little book and there's like another gold mine. So I really think that once you start blogging, you're going to come up with some really cool things. And I don't ever run out of content. I run out of time. I can't write everything that I want to get to. Another cool way of writing content for your blog that is like absolutely fantastic is to go into your Google Webmaster Tools. I know, what's it called now? Google Search Console. Okay, and you go in there and you find out how are people coming to your website? What search terms are they putting into Google where they're already finding you? And you will find that there are some keywords you have not even targeted and you don't even have content that is about that keyword. But they're coming to your website anyway, which means there's no content on the web that is really juiced up for that particular keyword. And if you go write a blog post for that keyword and put that up on your website, publish it, and then link between the post that they are finding that content previously to the new post, you're just going to find an explosion of traffic.
And another way to do it is to go and look at other people in your niche. So a great post to write is like say now your niche is on loss, pregnancy and loss. So go and Google other people who are blogging on pregnancy and loss and see what's on their websites. So you're not gonna steal their stuff and write exactly what they've written, but you can get loads of content ideas from them. Or even on Pinterest or on Instagram or on any of the social media platforms where you can find people talking about these things. So Facebook groups, you might go into a Facebook group where people are talking about these things, and you'll get loads of ideas there as well.
Yeah, definitely. I get a lot of people inboxing my Facebook page with a question, which they ask me to post on my page, which is something I do regularly. And I mean, the stuff that comes into my inbox is like it's gold. I come up with so many ideas for creating content. Oh, Sharon, oh my word. Is there an ugly side of blogging? Yes. Yes, there is. And you know what? You've kind of got to put your elephant skin on. The fact is, if you're going to go and you're going to go put yourself out there online, you are inviting people, trolls, to come and troll you. It's going to happen at some stage. It might just be one little nasty comment that stings, or it might be like a whole troll fest. I've had both. And I think when you start blogging, just prepare yourself and know that at some stage someone's going to be an asshole. You can't prevent that. So yeah, just prepare yourself for it is the best thing I can say. I think previously, I don't know if you were here, Lauren, but I mentioned again that somebody inboxed me on Instagram and told me I've got no pride and asked me why I don't edit my photos and specifically edit my fat rolls out. People can be very ugly. And the thing with me blogging is that I take great pride in take me as I am. This is me. I'm not going to pretend to be something I'm not. I'm not going to edit out my fat rolls. I'm not going to green screen myself and put myself living in a mansion, which some bloggers do, let's face it. I'm not going to do that. And unfortunately, I do get some nasty comments. But, I need to understand that this is not about me. It's about them. How horrible must a person be to inbox somebody else on Instagram and tell them to edit out their fat rolls? I mean, what a nasty person. So, you are going to get an ugly side of it. But you got to take the good with the bad. I don't know what you've experienced, Lauren.
Yeah, I haven't had too much of that. Touch wood. So far, so good. I have had on YouTube, interestingly. I mean, I have the most consistent I've ever been in anything is I schedule posts that go up every day on YouTube at the moment for a course that I teach. Well, I'm more studying it than teaching it, really, called A Course in Miracles. And it's very spiritual work and whatever. And I've had to go and delete comments on there where people have put up links to porn sites. And I mean, really. And I actually was quite bad about not going and looking at all my comments and not, being vigilant about that. And obviously that's what they bargain on, that you're not really doing that. But yeah, so there is definitely, people can do some weird stuff and you've just got to be aware of that. But at least there's the delete button, and you can, even if somebody has said a horrible comment publicly on your page, you can delete their comment on your Facebook page, on your website. I don't publish comments I don't like on my website. On your website, when you get a comment in, you have the chance. It doesn't go in automatically. You have the chance to vet it first before it actually gets published on your site. And I always use that option because I'm not going to put up stuff that I'm not comfortable putting up.
I think also what's another important thing to remember, and this was something, it was quite funny. I had a YouTube video I put up where I reviewed a make money online opportunity, i.e. scam, and I called it out for what it was. I don't know if you remember what happened. And I went to bed. I put my video up. I went to bed. I got up in the morning. My video had 10,000 views. And I'm like, what the hell? And comments. And like my blog post had so many comments. And I'm like, what happened? And basically it was people defending the scam. And they're calling me an idiot. And actually, I feel so bad for them because these are people that have been scammed. They don't even know they've been scammed. But they are so upset to be called out and to be that this thing's been exposed as a scam. They're upset and they don't want to believe it's true. And I was quite scathing in my video and my blog post. And what they did is, like, some of them even insulted my parents. Like, I thought,
my goodness,
whoa, that's taking it a bit too far. But the point of this is that these people were sharing my video on social media and saying, look at this idiot. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, no, look at these idiots. I'm a blogger. I don't care what you say when you share my video, but share it. You know? And the thing is, the more that people engage with you and the more that people share your stuff, the more it tells Google, YouTube, whatever, that your stuff is quality. It doesn't matter what they're saying. In fact, even if someone puts a thumb down on your video, that's engagement. So these guys made my video go semi-viral overnight. And I woke up and at first I was like, oh, these nasty people. And then I'm like, thank you. Wow. And I can tell you one thing, sometimes your trolls are your biggest advertisers.
They say the best way to get traffic to your site, start an argument online. It really works. I haven't ever been comfortable doing that, but you know, maybe one day I'll have something I really want to argue online that people want to engage in.
Hey, any publicity is publicity, isn't it?
Yeah,
look,
and
I don't
that way online. But yeah, there is an ugly side, and you want to try and keep clean as much as possible and not be part of that ugly side. One of the things that I really, when I coach people about blogging is, or even especially social media, especially Facebook, is don't post, if you want to keep a good image online, don't post negative stuff online. Don't be that person who's always posting politics and, you know, anti this and anti that, and you've got a problem with this and you've got a problem with that, because that is, it doesn't bring you good karma. And it also, you know, it's about, you know, you want to keep your reputation really, really good online. So reputation management is really important. And you can say one wrong thing and one stupid thing online, and you could lose all your followers.
Yeah, no, you know? I very much agree with you. It's about positivity and being, just being a nice person.
Be the light, be kind.
Don't be ugly.
Don't be that person who goes and disses anybody else's posts. That's not going to bring you up. It's just going to bring you down. And so I get shocked at what people say to other people online. I really do. I can't believe what people will say on a Facebook comment, and I think it can be really disgusting and really unkind. I don't know why people do that, and you know, don't be that person.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've seen some people that they blog, but it's like I look at it and I think, well, this isn't a blog. This is like, you should go have a therapy session and say that. You know, you keep that shit behind closed doors. You know, I don't like it. Especially people that badmouth other people. I'm not that type of person. I'm not saying I'll be quiet if I have an issue with someone, but I'll inbox them privately and say, like, you know, I have this problem with you. I'm not going to put that publicly online. I just don't feel that that is the time or place for it. So yeah, I totally agree. Oh, here's a nice one. How do you choose a blog name?
Well, I love your name, Sharon Hercules. I would go sharonhercules.com. Love it. Beautiful blog name. Unless you want to go very, very specific to your niche. But most people recommend that it's a really good place to start if you don't know what your niche is yet. If you're not sure where your blog's going to go and you kind of start blogging and then it morphs into this, then it morphs into that, start with your name. That's the easiest place to start.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. But I think also, are we talking about a blog name or are we talking about a domain name? Because you could actually have them completely different.
True. Yeah, but they're normally related.
Yeah, your domain name does not necessarily have to be your business name. Your domain name is, like mine is kaboki.com, Lauren's is inspiringmompreneurs.com, and my blog is called Kaboki and hers is called Inspiring Mompreneurs. but it could be completely different. When it comes to choosing a domain name, it must be brandable. It must be relatively short. Make it memorable. Try not to make it something that is too difficult to misspell. And how I chose Kaboki was I started Kaboki a few months after my daughter was born. I think it was 4 months after she was born. And my husband is Afrikaans, and he always called her Stota Kabota. So I took Kaboterki and I just made it shorter into a nonsense word, into Kaboki. And that's just something personal for me. I thought it was cute. Kids say nonsense words, and I thought it's related to South Africa. So that's basically how I came up with that. But a blog name, I think it must be brandable, and your name is brandable. Yeah. We've got Vicky over here. Do you give your blog a name? I have no idea how that works. But see now, Vicky, what I would do if I was you, you've got a website already. I'm pretty sure you've got a website. I would not go and create a new website that's your blog. You already have a website. I would just add a blog section onto your website, which is quite easy to do. So you already are Vicky Sherpas. I would keep it like that and just add a blog. Let's see. Does blogging cost money? We've covered that. Oh, Vicky, all these different terms. Yeah, I should have a glossary put up. Oh, Bobby Nello, spammer from the Philippines. Do brands find you, or do you find brands? It's a mix of both, very much a mix of both. Often also I work with, I get PR companies contacting me, and they've got a number of brands that they work with. So often one PR company, I will work with multiple brands through that company. But I've covered quite a bit about how to become an influencer, and there's more questions there from Gemma and from Marilee about influencer marketing. Yeah, definitely it's going to be a mix of both. If you already start sharing about the products that you use on a daily basis, brands are going to start finding you. And then also I do go and contact brands that I really love working with. Often I'll just ask them if they want to participate in a giveaway on my website. And that gives them kind of an idea of, the reach of my audience and how well I can promote them. And very often, once I've done a giveaway with a company, they will choose to work with me for a paid collaboration later. So yeah, it's a bit of both.
And generally, you can only do that once you've built a bit of a name online. So I wouldn't approach at the get-go, just like at the outset. Build yourself first. Build your own brand.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with Lauren. But also, one thing that I think a lot of people misunderstand is that they think an influencer is someone that's got thousands of followers. Okay, like I've got 60,000, so I think I'm still considered a micro influencer, but probably on the higher end.
No, micro influencers can be 2,000, and you're a micro influencer. Even 1,000.
I know some people that have only got a couple of hundred followers. And, the thing is, if you've got a very small niche and you've got highly engaged followers, that could often be more appealing to a company than my page with so many followers. So I think, you can get started with only a couple of hundred. And especially if it's something like just a giveaway, then they'll be keen to participate because it's not like a huge expense. It's just the cost of a product. So very often, that's something that I do often, like I say, is I contact companies and I just say, I love your brand. I love your product. I use it. Often I've already put a post up for them previously. And then I'll say to them, do you want to run a giveaway with me? I think it would be really beneficial for us both. And then they'll agree and they'll give me some product. And then that everything you do and every single product you work with, whether it's a paid collaboration or not, that all kind of boosts your reputation online, and you get known by all different brands. So they will contact you. So it's all about being active and working with brands from the beginning. Gemma, how do you become an influencer? I think I've covered that now. And how do you get started with influencer marketing? Also. Okay, Melanie, hashtags and Instagram. Wow. Sure. I find Instagram quite tricky, and I find hashtag marketing. I do use Instagram. I do use hashtags on Instagram. I use hashtags on all of my social media channels, but sometimes I'll put one hashtag up and it'll go crazy, and sometimes, most of the time, my hashtags don't get that far, to be honest. But I think there's a trick to it, and I think it's about finding those a little bit more obscure sort of hashtags. You know, if you're just going to use parenting as a hashtag, you're not going to do very well. But I think when you start using, more niche stuff, it really helps. I don't do that much hashtag research, though, and I think perhaps if I did, I'd be a lot more successful. What are you doing, Lauren? Okay. I don't know if Lauren wants to answer that question as well, but yeah, I kind of find it a little bit up and down. Oh, cute. I think it's very important to use hashtags in your social media marketing, especially on Instagram. But yeah, like I say, I'm not finding it massively effective myself personally. For Rosa, how do you get started? For Rosa, I've covered this now in a number of questions. PR agencies, I get a lot of them contacting me directly. But I also have contacted some PR agencies in the past and started working with them. So it's a mix. It's a mix of both.
Sorry, my puppy was chewing this. Let go. He's like, my puppy's going to get up to mischief. I think I'm going to have to go.
Oh, no. Cool. I'm just going to answer a couple more questions and then I'm going to end the video. But I don't know if you want to quickly say something about Medium, because I actually got kicked off Medium.
I also got kicked off Medium. I also got kicked out of Medium.
I'll put affiliate links.
Medium is where you go and write things. Don't be an affiliate marketer on Medium. It's against their policies. I put too many affiliate links in my posts and I got kicked out. So
I got kicked off. So before I got kicked off, I did have quite good success on Medium and with getting people back to my website. It was actually quite nice. But yeah, like I say, you can put affiliate links on Medium, I believe, but there's clearly a limit to what you can do, as you and I have both found out. So yes, I don't know what Medium's like lately because I was kicked off about a year ago.
Yeah, me too. I got to run before the dog destroys the place. Cheers.
Okay, thanks for coming and joining. It's been absolutely amazing having you.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, Hay.
Cool. Okay, bye. Cool. I'm just going to scan through and see if there's something that has not been addressed. Sharon's asked, is it important to reward your blog readers? I'm assuming you're talking about giveaways and that sort of thing, Sharon. Half. You know, I think it's always nice to reward your readers and do giveaways. It definitely increases the reach of everything that you do online. So yeah, I find it fantastic. Other bloggers just find not so much, because sometimes a lot of the people that enter the giveaways are not really interested in your content, and then that becomes a problem. I do think that your giveaways must be related to what you do, and that your giveaways must not be the only way that you draw people to your blog. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of a bit empty. You want real readers and people that engage. Oh yeah, that's Lisa that came and joined us. So we spoke about the Instagram already. Sharon, how do you grow your audience? It's a mix of creating content and getting ranked on Google, and then also promoting your posts and your content through social media. And then also a great way is to build your email list. So you get people to sign up for your email newsletter, and then you can bring them back to your blog once you have created content. But that's not really growing your audience, but it's more like retaining them, because a very important thing is, if someone comes onto Facebook, they could miss posts that you publish. If someone finds a blog post through Google, they read your post and they leave your website, what is going to bring that person back again? Often nothing. So if you can get that person to sign up to your newsletter, you can bring that person back to your website every time you write a new blog post, or for example, once a week, like what I'm doing now is on a Friday, I give like a summary of blog posts, a pick of posts from the previous week, and then I send that out, and that brings those readers back to my website. And I think that's really important. Oh, Michelle Botha, you missed the start. Yes, you'll be able to watch us again from the beginning, most definitely, as soon as we finished. And then on top of that, I'm going to add this to my website, and I'm going to write a blog post. I'm going to add this to my website, so you can catch it there at any time. Let's see. Michelle, Judy's page is Fun Mama SA. It's fantastic. I'm going to come back to all the comments later and leave a written reply. So, yeah, you'll be able to. Michelle, you don't know where to start. I'm going to add the link to Wealthy Affiliate again. Oh, thanks, Shireen. You love my videos. That's absolutely fantastic. I love to hear that because sometimes I feel a bit sloppy. Ah, Julie Hyde. This is Julie from Parenting Hub popping in to say hi and hoping we're having fun. Julie has got Parenting Hub. It's an absolutely fantastic website. So if you ladies need, to go read some good blog posts, you can hop on over there. She's also got a directory of all amazing companies, that supply moms with parenting stuff and kids things. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think those are all the comments. Yeah, Vicky, I really, it's something that I've been actually was wondering about, is creating Afrikaans content on Kaboki. But I decided that I think, you should either be one language or another language. And I also, keep it to one. And I also have a lot of readers from USA that come in from Pinterest. So, if I have Afrikaans on my blog, I don't think it would work. But there's another option you could perhaps look at, and that is, there is a way, I've heard of it, where you can actually have both languages on your website, so people can choose either English or Afrikaans. I don't know how that would work. Maybe it's a plugin or a something, but that might be a really good option for you. Okay. Michelle, not knowing where to start, definitely with the WordPress blog, and I'm going to add a link to Wealthy Affiliate so you can check them out. That is where I advise that everybody starts. It is fantastic. And then, your once again, your WordPress website, that is your home, and everything else, all the social networks and YouTube and your list building, all of that backs up your website. Oh, load shedding. Oh, man, Vicky. We've got no load shedding till 4 o'clock. Let's see what Lisa asked. When you set up your blog on WordPress and then start telling people about it on Facebook, would you suggest having a few posts on there already, or can you grow your content as you go? I would first set up my blog and get a bit of content on my blog, then set up my Facebook page, share something so that, when you do share what you're doing with your friends and family, you're not sharing, like a void. You want to have a couple of things up there already, in my opinion. But as soon as you start sharing stuff, even if you don't promote it personally, if you just set up your own Facebook page and you set it up properly and you start sharing stuff on it, you will find that you will automatically start getting followers. They will find your content. So, Vicky, you're going to ask a web developer. Is that for adding a blog to your website? Vicky, if you're on WordPress, I can easily set up a blog on your website for you. It'll be like a one-touch thing almost. So that's not a problem at all. Okay, I need to choose a winner. Let's go here. I'm going to choose Michelle Botha. You're going to win the 100 Rand Take-A-Lot voucher. So I'm going to tag you, and if you can just inbox me your email address so that I can organize your voucher for you. Ladies, thank you so much. It's been so amazing. Oh, the English and Afrikaans. Yes, yeah, ask a web developer. You know, you can ask Megan that was in the video at the beginning. She would know. She knows all that stuff. She's really technical. Yeah, so ladies, thank you so much. And the best part, it was so fantastic having some of my fans join me in the live video to ask questions. It's the first time I've done it. It was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. And next week, we're going to be doing another live video. Of course, if I can wangle it, depending on, you know, between the kids being at school every second day and between the load shedding that's come now. So we're hoping to do that soon. Yeah, I'll let you guys know what we're doing, and I'll catch up with you soon. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Bye.